Bugger. It goes this way. Never mind. Oops. 1 2 1 2. I check these sound levels. Do you like the eShop medley? I thought I'd play a medley because the eShop's closing down soon. The two of them are closing down. Hopefully it's sounding okay on the mic. I'm gonna tweet out that we're live. I'll take my break when it's time for Persona. Yo, I'm jamming to this music. I'll take my break when it's time for Persona. It's always time for Persona, Kike! It's always time! It's never not a good time for Persona. Right now is the time. I'm joking. Come through when you're ready. Come through when you're ready. Okay, I'm gonna tweet that we're live. Copy. And I know some people are gonna get heart attacks because I haven't organized the tabs into folders. I'm sorry, I didn't have time to do it. I did not have time. Hopefully I can get some people to come and actually watch the show. Let's see. Please retweet. Please retweet my tweet. Please. So people know I'm live. Please, please, please. I want emoji. I always want emoji. Oh my god, it's so difficult to see these emojis on this. Okay, so that one will do. The red circle means live, right? There we go. Let's see if you tweet. Yeah, I put I wanted to put Femboy Friday into the title, but it wouldn't fit. So I've put the protagonist mobile Persona game in the thumbnail. Okay, can I get people to join? Can I? Let's see. Is anyone even here? I guess I should send it out via a, what do you call it? A DM. Alright, I'll set up a DM. No wait, how do I do that again? Why does the Twitter web thing make it difficult to do that? Create group. I'd rather not create a group. I'm gonna have to. Let's see if this works individually. Maybe. Can I like just put people on here? Next. What? I want a proper smiley face. Emoji, please. Alright, let's see if anyone comes. Yo! Harrison! Welcome! Can you hear me? I'm not sure if I can be heard. Thank you, Harrison. Yes, I'm actually really pleased with the new name. I think it's perfect. I kind of like brainstormed, and a couple of other people gave me some ideas, notably Mousy, who kind of instigated the idea for me. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if I can be heard. I think let me check my levels. I should be coming through. You hear me okay? Welcome, Mousy! Welcome. Do you know the eShop medley? You know they're closing that soon. What one is this? I like this one. They're closing them! And the Switch don't have music! The Switch doesn't have eShop music. It's too bad. But I don't know. Maybe it's to do with like the speed of the Switch. It does make sense though, because like they had it on the 3DS. Like, which is like has way less power or RAM or whatever than a Switch. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. So okay. If I seem disorganized, it's because I am. That's what's happening. I am disorganized. But hopefully we can get started. I wish I could preview this without like doing that. Can I preview? Yeah, this is the pre-show. I've got one. We're gonna start in 1 minute. Can I not do that? Okay, we just start. Oh my gosh. I have a question for everyone. How do I get rid of this? Should I or should I not use AdBlock on this browser? Because I don't have AdBlock, and you know, maybe it's like putting a lot of ads onto like a lot. I have to auto translate. Yeah, there's like a hell of a lot of ads, so let me know whether you think I should put ad block on. Sometimes, you know, I feel bad because it takes like revenue or whatever from websites or YouTube channels or whatever, but then maybe it's just to make it more convenient for displaying stuff on the stream, which the ads do get in the way a bit. So let me know what you think about that. I'm not sure, to be honest. Okay then, let's get started. Hello everybody, and welcome to what is now Game Cornershop. I have changed the name. If you saw my announcement earlier, you'll see why the name's been changed, but we can go over that quickly. I'm going to lower up this eShop music, since we don't need to be hearing that right now. Here, eShop music. We like your eShop music, but time to stop the eShop music. So yes, I did put out a statement explaining why the name has been changed. I know a lot of you here already know the name has been changed because we talked about it last week and we discussed it, and you helped me brainstorm the new name and everything. But yeah, so the reason is, let's look at the tweet I put out. So here's the statement I did, and I did you know, run this all by Genki, so this, with his approval, that that this statement's been put out. So Basically, I've said the Jody and Genki show is rebranding. This is mainly because Genki will no longer be a regular host due to his IRL commitments. He may return occasionally as a guest. The name was always just a leftover from our days on Twitter Spaces anyway, so it felt right to change it. The new name will be Game Cornershop, as in a cross between a Japanese game corner, corner, and a British corner shop. It's a play on words. And because we talk shop, quote unquote, shop, right? Game industry. Eventually, the whole channel will be themed like a corner shop. The show will retain the same discussion and call-in format, Jody and Genki. So that is what we're going to be doing going forward. Genki's not going away completely. Like I said, he may return as and when he can, but you know, he has real life stuff to deal with, and obviously real life stuff comes first. I totally understand. I've discussed this with Genki, and we decided this is the best thing to do. So all my best to Genki, and you know, hope everything goes well for you. And yeah, I'm still, you know, Genki and I talk regularly and stuff, so everything's cool there. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that so that everyone understands. And yes, I do want to theme the whole channel like a corner shop. Like I at the moment we still got the old banner and layout and everything, just because it's going to take time to do that. I mean, obviously I can quickly change the name because you know, I can just type it in, right? But the banner and all that, yeah, it's just going to take me time to do it. So it's going to be something, you know, going into the future. I'm going to change things gradually, but I would like to theme it to look like a corner shop. So I'm going to be doing that. I might have to come up with some artwork and stuff like that to change it. But at the moment we still have the old banner, which is Jody and Genki show. But it's fine. We're gonna change it eventually. I just don't want to take it down and leave it blank because it doesn't look good. So we've got some. They're just placeholders for now. It's placeholders for now. So yeah. So that's what's going on. So let's check the chat. On here, on this one. Hello, yes, and welcome to those who've come through. We have Harrison Whaley, welcome. I like the new name, Jodie. Thank you. Do you know what? Because it was so difficult for me to think of a name, I thought I'm never going to come up with a new name. It's like literally impossible. The whole reason the thing was called Jody and Genki, it was because I literally could not think of anything, and that's just what we said on Twitter. We just said, oh, it's Jody and Genki, we're doing a Twitter space together, you know, and I just couldn't think of anything, so I kept the same name. So, but it made sense to change it, and I'm really happy. I'm really pleased. And Mousy, welcome. Mousy helped me. Shout outs to Mousy. Mousy actually helped me come up with the name. It was Mousy's impetus that kind of like gave me the little spark as to what to do. And I'm extremely happy with this name. And you know, I'm so pleased because like when you you know, make the YouTube channel, you can make a custom URL, right? And you know, the app, whatever, and it wasn't taken. So I didn't have to put any numbers or anything on it, and it wasn't taken. Nobody had that. Why would anybody have that? You know. So yeah. Oh, hi, Vinnie Mac, welcome. Dank Meme Center, welcome. You should use it. I get the whole not trying to deprive, or I think maybe deprive revenue away from websites, but those ads can get overbearing. Yeah. I'm thinking because so my normal browser that I use myself, I usually have like ad block on it, like my personal browser. But I just didn't add it to the one I was using for the Jody and Genki handle, so I didn't put it on there, and I thought, maybe it'll look bad if it'll look bad if I put ad block on there. But yeah, it's annoying just because sometimes I play videos and it's like at the beginning of the videos, and I am not signed up to YouTube Red or whatever it's called. I'm not doing that. Anyway, welcome. That's a good idea for rebrand. I hope everyone gets and understands what I was going for, as in a game corner and a corner shop. That's what we call like a local convenience store in the UK, right? So I hear that you in the US will say like bodega or something like that, but it's basically a convenience store. It's a convenience store. So think about a cross between like a local like a locally run independent convenience store, not like not like a 7-Eleven or something, like a, you know, like a local store. So I want to make it look like a traditional, like, corner shop, how they look in the UK, like the kind of old fashioned, like more Victorian looking ones. And there's actually like shops like that where I live. There's like traditional looking shops. So maybe I'll go out and do some research and stuff. Yeah, thank you. Welcome, Dank Me Centre. Vinnie Mac says, "Great name. Welcome to the corner shop." Yeah, I put in the title. I wanted I wanted a longer title, but I couldn't fit it. I couldn't fit what I wanted there. Cuts Lanova, hi, welcome, Cuts. I'm sure you've been here before, right? At some point. I know. Obviously, I always see you over on OJ's channel. Welcome, Cuts Lanova. J2 Blue, welcome. What up, Jodie? Hey, welcome. And Mousy, yeah, Mousy, who I will give credit to Mousy, credit where credit's due. Mousy did help me a lot come up with that name. You're lurking, Cuts. Oh, I see you come and you lurk. No problems, you can come and lurk. Just chill, sit back, enjoy the show. So we're gonna start out. Oh, actually, I think Kike messaged me. Didn't Kike? Did I get a message? I could have sworn I saw a message on there. I don't know, maybe I was mistaken. No. Well, Kike, when you're ready, you can come through. I'm just gonna do like the Famitsu sales. That shouldn't take long because we don't even have all of the Famitsu didn't even put out the top. Normally they do the top 10 first, and then they do the 11 to 2:30, like 10-12 hours later, something like that. But for some reason there's a delay, and they're not going to have that to Monday. And we normally also get like the sell-through, like the sell-through bar, the sell-through rate with it. But yeah, for whatever reason there's a delay. Normally when there's a delay it's because there's a national holiday in Japan, but as far as I'm aware there isn't, so maybe they had a technical issue or something, I don't know. So we don't have the full top 30, but we can go over what they do have. Actually, I won't use that, I'll use this because this is like, when you use Google Translate it does all this nonsense. But luckily we have Install Base to the rescue. So let's enlarge this so everyone can see it, hopefully. Okay. Sorry, I just had to use my little spray. Right, yeah, so not really sure why we didn't get the rest of the top 30. It's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, by the way, I can't see people's chat whilst I have these other windows open, so I'm gonna have to open. I think I'm gonna have to open it up on my phone because I literally cannot see. Or unless I can make this other window smaller, but then you can't have two windows on top of each other, right? So let me open it up on my phone. 1 secondo. At least I can see something, so I don't miss your messages. Oh yeah, do you know, it's really unfortunate, right? Basically, Benji Sales has gone live, right? So normally I mod over on his channel, but unfortunately, like the one time that I do this show later, he goes live on like random days because of his work schedule. So I had no idea he was going live right now. So yeah, so unfortunately I can't mod on his channel. Right now. I did say that in his chat, so hopefully he sees it. Okay, so let me put my own thing on here and turn off the audio. Okay, so then hopefully I can see. I won't miss your messages. Right, let's go over these Famitsu sales. And there was a couple of new releases, but they weren't like, big releases or anything. kind of smaller releases. Oh, maybe that's too... Is this too big? You can see that alright, right? So, Famitsu sales. Top 10 only. Right? So, still in the top spot, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe has not been moved. I don't know how long it's... What's coming out next week? I feel like there's something coming out next week that is escaping me. What is it? Someone remind me, is there something coming out next week? I know that Resident Evil 4 is not for a couple of weeks, and then you got to wait another week after that for the, for the sales. So yeah, Kirby's Return to Dreamland sold another 32,000. It's a total of 283,000. So that is good for what isn't... It's basically an old Wii port, right? I mean, they spruced it up a bit and put some extra content and stuff, but it's a Wii game, right? So, that's just a payday basically. Number 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, still hanging on there. 20.8 thousand. That's on number 20.8 thousand. Normally nearly 5 million physical, as you can see. Another 2 or 3 weeks. All hail Kirby, says Keek. Actually, I've really gotten into Kirby recently. I didn't used to be that much into the Kirby, gonna be honest. But there are some pretty good games, especially that. I'm gonna always talk about that Kirby Clash Deluxe. Kirby Clash Deluxe, you can play it for free, but I advise you, it's kind of like free to start. Buy the full gem apple tree. It's like buying a full game, within a whole game it's not like continuous. Anyway, I'm sounding like I'm shilling for that game. Nintendo ain't paying me. Pay me, Nintendo. Pay me to shill that game. I'll shill it. Number 3 is Splatoon 3. That sold another 15.8 thousand. And again, so this total is like coming towards 4 million basically. So number 4, we've got the first of our new entries. This is Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Now, I should point out, Fatal Frame has a different name in every region, okay? So in the US it's called Fatal Frame, but it's not in the rest of the world. In Japan I think it's just Zero. And in Europe it's Project Zero. So I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with all these names, if it's just like some copyright thing and why they couldn't have the same name everywhere. But that's basically, if you're wondering what this is, if you're not sure, it's Fatal Frame aka Project Zero. Okay, that's what it is. So I don't know, weird name, but that's I understand what they mean by Fatal Frame. That's in a frame as a photo, because that's what you do basically. You run around with a camera taking pictures of ghosts, trying to I think you can vanquish them with the camera. I've never played Fatal Frame, I'm going to be honest. They look interesting though. Anyway, so this is a port of basically, I think it was a Wii game. I think it was a game on the Wii. So yeah, this is a remaster of the Wii game. So the Nintendo Switch version's at number 4 with 10.7 thousand. And there's also a PS4 version, which you'll see in a sec. Number 5 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That sold an additional 10.4 thousand. Number 6 is interesting. This is an indie game called IB. It sold 9,000. Now, apparently this was originally an RPG Maker game from like years ago. That they're now releasing, I think, on Switch and PC. I don't think there's a PlayStation version, or someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I honestly don't know. I've not been following this game that closely, but it seems successful for this sort of game to even sell that much. When you see the game, it's like a very small kind of RPG. It was formerly an RPG Maker game. That has a cult following. I would say it has a cult following. It's kind of like a horror game, horror themed RPG Maker game. So yeah, that's pretty good for that game. I know you think, oh, it's only 9K, but it's like a tiny RPG Maker, years old game. Okay, so it's good for that game. And they had a Famitsu cover recently as well. I think it was a week or two ago. There was a Famitsu cover. I know some people saying, "What is that game?" But yeah, that's what it was. So oh yeah, comment from Bad Latency. It still throws me to see Fatal Frame being multiplayer since Nintendo owns half of the franchise. Yeah, Bad Latency, welcome by the way. Yeah, I kind of discussed that. I was talking about that on Twitter because people were asking about that. And yeah, basically Nintendo does own like part of the franchise. At least because when you go onto like do I have it here? Yeah, so when you even look at the website, I went and looked at the website for the copyrights, and you can see, you just go on the website, and it says Nintendo Koei Tecmo. So that's why the last two were exclusive to the Wii and Wii U. Those are the two that have been ported now. So yeah, so obviously they worked out a deal with Koei Tecmo to get those on other platforms. So yeah, but the previous games before those ones, I believe, were on that PlayStation 2 or 1. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, basically Nintendo owns part of it in some way. I'm not exactly sure how that shakes out, but yeah, that's what Bad Latency is referring to. So let's go back here. So number 7 is the PS4 version of Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. That sold 9,000. So we have a total of like 19,000, right? 19.7 thousand for Fatal Frame, this new remaster. Now the previous one did sell a lot more. It sold 42,000. Now there's been some debate about why this one sold half of the other one, including that maybe the Wii one's a less popular game compared to the other one and stuff like that. I honestly don't know what the reason is, and I wrote what it means for the future of the franchise, because they haven't made any of these Fatal Frame games since the Wii U one. That's what I said there, and that sparked the discussion about the ownership of the franchise. The previous games were kind of made in cooperation with Nintendo, so who knows what they'll do. If they would even make a new, because I don't know, Koei Tecmo was like, they were asked about that before, and they were kind of like wishy-washy about it. From what I remember, they never like committed to they're going to make a new one. So hopefully they will, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, I was just really saying like the sales weren't that great, you know. Will they make a new one? If they're basing it on like the sales of these remasters, then I don't know, honestly. Okay, let's go back to where we were. So yeah, the PS4 version sold 9,000. Number 8 is Hogwarts Legacy on the PS5 with an additional 9,000. Number 9 is Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and that sold an additional 8.4 thousand. This is was there? Hang on, was there a PS4 version of this game? I believe there was. Well, we can't. That's the thing. We don't have the top 30. I can't see where anything else is. So, yeah, there was a PS4 version of this. Yeah, but it's not in the top 10 anymore, any longer. So we'll have to wait till Monday, which means I'll discuss it like next week. Yeah. At number 10, holding on, is the Nintendo Switch version of Octopath Traveler 2 that sold an additional 7.7 thousand, total of 75,000, which is a good hold. I did say it's honestly slightly better than the holds for the previous games where we saw so slightly better than previous Team Asano games Live Alive, which was a minus 48% third week drop, and Triangle Strategy, which was a minus 52% third week drop. I said word of mouth may be having an effect, but unfortunately because the debut was much lower than Octopath 1, it won't be able to catch up to the first entry. It's basically impossible. And plus, yeah, the PlayStation versions, we don't know where they are because they've fallen out the top 10, obviously. So we'll have to wait until next week to see what they were, but they're much lower than the Switch version as well. And the other thing, which I have said to people, is that the first game was like it sold out, and there was like Square Enix had to issue apologies for the game selling out, telling people to buy digital. So the high digital rate, and it sold out worldwide, by the way. There's physical copies of this game. I don't know what Square Enix were thinking, but yeah, it sold out. And the other thing is that in 2019, because this game was published by Nintendo, not in the whole world, in everywhere except for Japan, right? If Nintendo publishes a game in any region, and then it's over a certain price, it's eligible for the voucher program, and that was introduced in 2019. So this game was in the voucher program for like, was it 1-2 years, and it sold loads like that. And obviously this new game is not going to be in the voucher program. People are like, it's going to sell after. You're just looking at now. It's going to sell. It's going to have a long term. Nah, man. People are not really looking at the circumstances as to why that first one sold that much. And then there's other things as well that people have brought up, like it was the first HD 2D game, of course. It was a new art style. It was quite striking, and that there was less competition back then when it comes to a lot of RPGs and stuff like that. So that's some things that people have pointed out that also may have contributed to this, as well as Square Enix's terrible marketing, but we know about them and their crappy marketing. So that is the top 10 software. So let's go to the hardware, and we have here, courtesy of install-based. Why does it come up like this? I have to make this smaller. Or no, I'll just use my Twitter thing. Where's the Twitter thing? Where's the Twitter thing? I use it. What do I do with it? Yeah. It's probably just easier if I use this. This is just a screenshot of that, but it shows up properly because I resized the windows. It's all weird. Hardware. Very interesting. Marcy Mousy says the main girl from the other Fatal Frame games isn't in the fourth one. Oh, is that why people don't like that one as much? Is she in the fifth one though? Is this different protagonist? Okay, maybe that's why. The other thing is that Fatal Frame's kind of like niche. I would say it's more niche. It's a horror game, but it's not like an action horror game, right? 'Cause you're just walking around slowly with a camera, is my understanding of these games. From the gameplay that I've seen, you're just literally walking around with a camera. It's not like Resident Evil where you're jumping all over the place with a gun, you do bashing zombies and all this nonsense. It's not like that. Marcy Mousy says, yeah, it's a cameo. Okay. Alright, maybe it's just not as beloved as the other Fatal Frame games, I guess. So this hardware, we have, once again, the PlayStation 5 comes out top with 64.8 thousand. That's down from last week's 78.4 thousand. And as we discussed before, the total has gone over 3 million, but how many of those are actually remain in Japan? I don't know. Not all of them. That's the only thing I'll say about that. Not all of them. next we have Nintendo Switch. Oh no, wait, hang on. I didn't cover. Wait. Oh yeah, the other thing I'd say is PS5. When it comes to the split between the, the disc version and the digital edition, basically the regular disc edition sold 51.5 thousand, and then the digital edition sold 13.3 thousand. I always get confused as to what to call like the regular PS5 with the disc. If I just say PS5, people don't necessarily assume I mean the disc one, even though that's just what it's called. It's just called the PS5, and the other one's called PS5 Digital Edition. So I don't know. So that's why I say disc version or disc drive or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So the Switch sold 59.9 thousand. That's down a little on last week, but it's still holding around the 60,000 mark, I guess. It's very close to 60,000, of course. And when it comes to the split of that, there's a much less OLED than last week, and OLED is the best selling SKU, as you know. So it's 37,000 compared to 45,000 last week. Xbox Series, which is, it's kind of all over the place, to be honest. It's gotten completely unpredictable. It hasn't been getting like super high, like the 10,000s, and the one time we saw 16,000. It's not getting that high any longer for quite a while now, but this is the highest we've seen in a few weeks, I would say. So it sold 2.8 thousand, almost 2.9 thousand, basically, which is like pretty much 3 times what it sold last week. So it's up, but it's I think it's starting to reach its maybe its limit. Maybe we won't see those 10,000s anymore. Or maybe we will if Microsoft did another one of those. The offer they did. The offer they did with the Series S. Maybe if they did one of those again. Otherwise, probably not. PS4, that sold 1,600, so that's, pretty much what it sold last week. Pretty much in line with what it sold last week, and it's just selling 1,000 to 2,000 every week, basically. And 3DS was 97. So when it comes to this hardware, the PS5 still selling pretty well. It's not hitting those 90Ks anymore. I don't think it's going to go back to those 90Ks until we get a big release. So it's basically gone down every week since. I think there was like some pent up demand, right? And then as soon as supply went in, then we saw like loads of them go, right? But I think that's maybe why it's been coming down now, and there isn't a big release until we get a big-ish release with RE4. And I'd like to talk like RE4 sales predictions. I thought that would be a good discussion thing, because some people were talking about an install base, and I think they're off base. I think they're off base with their predictions and what they think is going to sell, or some people there. So so I think it's probably not going to go up and down. I don't think that like 90K is going to be a baseline. The Switch is going to, there's no really big releases for Switch until Tears of the Kingdom, basically. So the Switch will probably come down a bit as well. But it will still hover around that 50 to 60K, I would have thought. Which is pretty good. Now, software, as I said, like, although we've got PS5 selling this much, the software is still, I feel like it's still not like matching really for it selling that much, basically selling more than Switch, even though there are more Switches. You would think that the sales are still not adding up as being that great. So they haven't really they haven't improved, to be honest with you. And the other thing is that PS4 sales are like getting lower and lower. And I think that, as I said before, that I think that some people now that weren't able to get hold of PS5s before, or PS4 owners that up until now hadn't been able to get to PS5s, I think they quickly bought some of those PS5s that we saw recently in the charts. So I think that's why there's been a sharp drop off in PS4 sales, because they just got hold of PS5s really fast. If you see what I mean. So that's what I think happened. So that's really it for the software and hardware, because we've only got half the data this week. So I can't really, don't know if I can really say too much. So a couple of topics we can talk about, and basically what I put in the title of the episode was basically Square Enix's crappy NFT game, which, oh my god, this thing needs to be seen to be believed. And then this Persona 5 mobile game that has been announced for China, and it is China only, which is astonishing to a lot of people, but I think it's to do with licensing and stuff like that. So we can talk about that as well. Let's see. Okay, I'm just checking to see if there's anyone, because I know Kika said he was going to go into the waiting room. I'll wait for you. When you're ready, if anyone wants to join the conversation, you do this via Discord with, let me get the link. Copy. I'll drop this, not in there, in the chat. Oh, there is more. Why is this thing that I've got here not refreshing? Okay, so there's the link. So join that, and then basically you'll see the voice chat channels on the side. You need to join waiting room, and then when I'm ready, I pull you into the on-air room. So that's why the on-air room has a lock. It's just so people don't just join and interrupt whenever they want. That's kind of how it was in Twitter Spaces. Don't want that nonsense going on here. So that's why. Okay, so there is some comments here though. Why did my phone not refresh? Dank Meme Center says, fair assessment. It does seem odd the software isn't at least showing up with the hardware stock situation semi-figured out. Yeah, and Dank Meme Center, we'll have to wait and see the rest of the chart from this week to see if there is anything that maybe showed up at the bottom half of the chart. So there could be, but we don't know. I'm thinking probably not. Rush! Roshi Joker. Welcome, Rosh. I give it a year and a new Persona mobile game before shutting down. Yeah, I have thoughts about that. I have my own little, thoughts and, what I think there, because people are looking at it and say, oh, this looks really cool, because it looks like a full game, but we don't know about the monetization and stuff like that yet. They haven't really announced that. We can just assume it's a gacha game. You can assume that. That's what I'm sure. Okay, I thought we'd talk about the Persona thing. The Square Enix crappy NFT thing first. Roche, this is what I was going to say. I agree with you. Don't know how popular it is on China, but if it's not that popular, then it's over. So, it's kind of my thoughts, right? Is that the Persona games are available widely on all platforms worldwide right now. You can get them in China, on PC, on consoles. They can buy it if they want, right? And anyway, I'm gonna save that. Because I want to do the NFT thing, because the NFT things are, but the Persona things may be a little bit more interesting. So I will talk about that one after. So let me open up this. And now we know that Square Enix has been pushing this NFT thing for well over a year, and well past the point where it peaked and all like fizzled out basically, and they're still going for it. And we know that recently they have replaced their president, or they voting in the new president, who he will get voted in. Our friend Airbrush Kiryu will be taking up presidency of Square Enix in about May time. Yes, his photo is airbrushed. We've discussed this 2 weeks in a row. His photo is completely airbrushed out. Although he does look young. I can't believe he's nearly 50. He does not look 50. But yeah, anyway, we're not talking about Airbrush Kiryu anymore. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about this NFT game. Now, basically, they announced this a while back, or there was like a trademark that was like seen as registered by Square Enix, and some people thought, oh, maybe it's like they're doing like a new Parasite Eve, or various things. It's not that. It is. Oh my god, this thing, it looks so bad. There is a website for it, but this isn't so much of a game as it's like collecting NFTs, right? Oh gosh, when I hit the mouse wheel, it does that. So this is all they've really revealed of like that's how dark it really looks. That's not me adjusting the screen or anything like that. So there's, as you see, there's so many different sections about game utility, monopoly, like character races, protagonists, but then NFT holder benefits and all this stuff here. Yeah. So what they're saying is there's going to be 10,000. Take note of this. It says, can I make this larger? There will be 10,000 NFT, a completely new form of NFT-based entertainment, with 10,000 collectible artworks meet real game utility. Collectible NFT artworks, character NFTs. Now take notes of this bit, right? All 10,000, right? All 10,000 NFT characters will have a unique design with various races and professions, with a bust up of with a bust up pictures. Am I reading that right? With a bust up pictures that can be used as PFP. With a bust up. I think they mean from the bust up, but it's that's been written really weirdly. It says with a bust up pictures that can be used as PFP. Now bear in mind, this isn't Google Translate. This is their official translation of how they've done this. So that is not a Google Translate, because look, you can change it to Japanese and then back to English, which is they've translated this. It's not Google Translate. So that's how they've written it. They will be sold as each chapter of a total of 6 is unveiled. Again, another weird sentence, but yeah, they're saying there's 6 chapters and they're being sold as each chapter is revealed. Okay, and this is what they're saying what the gameplay is, right? This is their description of the gameplay. Progress through the main story and missions while unlocking the stories held by the characters. Finds the items hidden throughout the floating continent. Determine the ending of the story by participating in the world mission, where the ultimate choice will be made. Okay, and then you've got all sorts of things like system requirements, Web3, or you need these wallets, and this is what blockchain it's using. This is going to run on iOS and Android. I don't know how they're doing this, because do the App Store, I don't know, maybe they do allow NFTs, I don't know. And yeah, so we've got game utility and missions. You're basically I think you're just tapping on the screen or to find these NFTs or whatever. Controls. It looks like it's going to be on PC as well. So look, you're just tapping. A tap icon will appear in the center of the screen once the floating coordinate is zoomed into a certain level. Players can explore and find items or explore character details by tapping or clicking only when the tap icon is displayed. So you're looking at that map that we just saw, zooming in to find this tap thing and then tapping to find an NFT. I think that is the game. Quote unquote game. Quest and items. So I know what your main question is. 10,000 unique characters. That sounds almost unbelievable. How are they going to make 10,000 unique characters that are going to be NFTs? Wow, that's amazing. How are they doing that? Well, it doesn't show you on here. They don't show you on this site, I don't believe. Wait, I know, we got one little picture here. So here's your little preview of a character. Okay, this is a character here. Alright, so something about making replica characters. Owning a character replica allows you to read the same story as owning the original character NFT. Okay, so they're getting around the issue of the fact that it's only 10,000, and what if they had more people playing? It means you just get one that's not an NFT. That's what it seems to be. Or you just make a one-time purchase of a character. You receive 5 additional replicas. Oh no, maybe they are NFTs as well. So you may mint replica characters to all the NFT characters you own up to their limit. So I know what you're thinking. It sounds a bit shady. It sounds a little bit shady, doesn't it? So let's take a look at more of these characters. Now this is from the official Twitter page, Symbiogenesis PR. Okay, this is their and this is like, I took out different tweets, and in the tweets they have images of the characters. These are going to be the NFTs. Each one of these, right? So look, this first one, this is like they're doing a countdown to their website launching. And you'll notice something. They all have the same face. They basically have the same face. And they're kind of all facing the same direction. That. Now, I've got some more egregious examples of this. This one here. Again, it's the same face, which they've made intentionally androgynous, so they can make feminine and masculine versions of these characters. They all have the same face. And again here, here's another one. Same face facing the same direction, right? It's basically the same face. And then this culminates in this image here. This is they're trying to get people to join the Discord, right? Look at this. These are your NFTs. These are what the characters they're referring to are. These are the character portraits you're going to be collecting. Sorry, why's my live chat thing crashed? Hang on. I can't see the channel. And this image is hilarious because these designed characters look like they've been just computer generated, as in like randomized. Because they all have these hats on. But their hair is sticking out of the hats. Their hair, I don't know if you can see it. Can I make this bigger? No, I can't. Or I can make the image bigger. Open image in new tab. Can I make the image bigger? I can zoom in here. The hair, can you see this? These hats have been stuck on. The hair is sticking up outside of the cap, and they all have the same thing. Like I said to you, they've made a face that's androgynous, right? So they can make feminine and masculine versions of them. This is hilarious. Keycad, where are you posting these messages? I can't see them. Oh, you're posting them in there. But she's got a new hat! Oh, it's that Malibu Stacy from The Simpsons. Exactly. She has a new hat. So, I just think this is wild. This is what they are. These are the NFTs. This is what they are. Roche said it's a gacha game. The which one are you talking about? I'm sorry, I'm behind on this chat. Oh no, wait, I'm behind. Roche said also saw the Famitsu sales is over, time to shut down Team Asana. Now, stop! Now that Octopath is on 10th place, stop it, Roche. They're not going to do that. Time to turn them into an NFT team. Oh my god, what to make this nonsense? Look at this. Look at this is oh my god. This is what they're selling. This is what they're selling. Katsu Lenova. The Square NFT game had a poor launch. Turns out their game didn't work out well. Well, this one I don't think they've actually launched yet. They did have another NFT game before this one, which was like their test game that they had on mobile. But this one, it hasn't launched, has it? I don't believe it's actually launched. Because in the Twitter, it just seems like they're like promoting it. And you see, look about the same face. Look at this. I'm not sure if it's actually launched yet. What's it say? Or maybe they have. We are currently considering resuming the treasure hunt campaign by next weekend. Maybe they have launched it. I don't know. And do you know the other thing that's astonishing to me? I read some of the comments on this. I thought people saying, "No, but they've all got the same face." No, they look at the comments. Excited! Can't wait for the Discord to open. The art is just wow. Discord or DOScord and webpage coming soon. Come on, let's go. Love this. Nice. Let's go. I'm applying for a job in the research institution. Something in Japanese that I can't read. More in Japan. I can't read. Ikemen. Oh my god. Ikemen Kita. Ikemen means like handsome or whatever. It means like handsome, like, and Kita's like coming. I can read that part, but you know, my Japanese is like really baby level, so I can't read. But yeah, Ikemen means like, what the hell? So this person's calling this like oh my god. I can't believe these comments are real. This seems like these are some like they got I'm trying not to swear. Oh my god! I swore! I almost did it. They've got crypto bros commenting over there. These comments can't be real. These are all got to be crypto bros. Look! Oh look! I hovered on this person. Look! I hovered on it, and look, it says Game with Hot NFT ga Daisuki na, and then I can't read that. I can't read the bit at the end. Yeah, I can only read a tiny bit of Japanese. Yeah, it's just like I love games and NFTs. So this is a crypto bro. This is a crypto bro right here. Ash. Interesting things ahead. Waiting to join the party. Heart on fire emoji. I'm zooming. Heart on fire emoji. Look at this. What's going on there? Like what? I can't believe these are real comments. Like they all have comments like that on this. These have got to be crypto bros. I can't read this. I can't read. Do you know how many kanji there are? What does that say? Let's say it. Armor. Okay, well there you go. The character's wearing armor. 2 bowing emojis. Heart eyes emojis. Let's go! With a yeah, so smiley face with 3 hearts emoji. This one that says, what is going on here? I swear my allegiance to you. What? What the? I swear my allegiance to you? Okay. This is kakoi, which is like cool. Can't wait for this project. As a Square Enix... Oh my god. These can't be real. Are these real comments? As a Square Enix fan, an average player of Final Fantasy series, I will surely support this project. What? What? What is happening? These comments are like, there's like no negative comments in these things. That's what makes me so suspicious. Like, what is happening? I don't know. This is new to memo. I don't know what that is. Memo. Whatever. I don't know. What does that say? Oh, that means graphics. There is a lot of graphics. Okay, it doesn't even make any sense. Reader. I don't know. So I can't really read kanji. So leader candidate newt. And volcano and arm emoji. Look at this one. Hey team, love what you're doing here and what you want to bring to the space. Is there someone I can talk to for potential collab? What on earth? Let me see this person. This got to be in there. Look at the profile. I told you, they're all crypto bros. Web3, Amadeus Mozart, daily wisdom nuggets about Web3, entrepreneurship and self-improvement, team member, NFT. Look at the NFT. Look at the handle. 0x Kryptonite, but spelled like crypto as in oh my god. What? So there's all crypto bros on these comments, on these tweets. It's all crypto bros. This one was when they was asking people to join the Discord. Or to be mods on the Discord. It's absolutely wild, man. People applied and they all look like crypto bros. Oh look, here's my resume for the application. This person, look. What's it say? There was a community moderator for Rift Trippers NFT written all over this, NFTs. Oh my word. Okay, so those comments are just, oh my god. J2 Blue says, I'm baffled why Square keeps pursuing this when most are gonna hate it. Well, that's what I'm saying. These comments, I think what it is, I think they quietly made this Twitter handle a long time ago. It's been there for a while, I believe. Right? So only crypto bros knew about it. So I think that's why the comments are like this. All these like, let's go! Can't wait for this project and all this nonsense, right? So yeah, I think that's why it's only crypto bros over here on these comments, because I can't believe that these are just real, like, this person says that, oh, I'm a Square Enix fan and and all this nonsense. Let's see what this says. Oh look, another crypto bro. I told you, look at this the thing here. There's a crypto bro. Like, really? Did these seem like normal? I mean, look at the avatar thing. Looks like a computer generated NFT. I just can't believe these are just normal like gamers or normal Square Enix fans that I'm doing these comments. They make no sense. These comments are wild. Let's see what else we got here. Dank Meme Center. I thought that was a mock image hinting the interwebs. It's a real thing. What's up with Square these days, lol? Yes, it is absolutely real. This is absolutely genuine. This is their Twitter. It's not a mock. I know it looks like it could be a mock image. It's real. It's absolutely 100% real. What did I click on here to get that? Yeah. Right here. I mean, this is from, they retweeted. Look. We are one of the largest NFT gaming guilds in Japan, assisting with the what? Tokenomics, is that even a word? Design and marketing of Web3 projects. So they were promoting the Discord thing, but I got this link absolutely from the like official thing. Oh no, wait, let's just go back to Google. It's on their official thing. This is their official page. This is the Symbiogenesis official thing. This is 100% official. Here's their website that I just showed you. So yeah, all of this stuff they've tweeted out is right here. So we've got the treasure hunting. By treasure hunting, I mean tapping the screen to find these NFTs. I don't know how you can call this a game. I'm not really seeing where the game is. They're not even saying like it's an RPG or anything like that. It's just literally saying you need to tap to find these NFTs that are hidden. That's what it seems like. So yeah, maybe they already launched this thing. And they haven't used if they had just gone straight off and just used the Final Fantasy IP with this, there would have been more uproar. But because it's just like whatever the hell this is, people haven't said as much. Cutston Rover says today was the first day. I guess it was a pre-launch that didn't work out well. Oh, was it really the first day? And then that was like a beta or something? Is that what it was? Thank Meme Center, those comments. Yeah, it's real. It's worth cursing for. I'm trying not to. Because of the YouTube, rules, and you can curse on YouTube, but because my channel's new, I'm not like established or whatever. I don't even have enough to be monetized or anything like that. I'm trying not to get into too much trouble. Thank me, Center. Now that's kind of sus. Too much positive means they're hiding the gacha moment. Dude, it's not even like it's gacha. It's like I said, it's 10,000 characters. Oh, Kika's in the waiting room. I'll bring you in a sec, Kika. Just hang on a sec. They're saying there's 10,000 of these characters, right? And you're just, from what I can work out, maybe someone else can look at this and tell me what they think is going on. Find hidden treasure on the floating continent. Hints will be available on the official Discord. It looks like you're Look. Explore the map to get NFTs. This is what this says the gameplay is. It's literally, it describes it right here. Explore the map to get NFTs. The map can be zoomed in and out, moved up or down, left and right. Zoom in until the tap icon appears. When the tap icon appears, you can explore the map. When you find an NFT member card, the discovery screen will appear. Hints will be announced on Discord. I mean, what does that sound like to you? It sounds like you're looking on a map, zooming in, and just tapping when you see a tap icon to find NFTs. Am I mistaken here? Can somebody tell me that there's more to this game? Really? Because like if you go back to the how do I go back to the main page? Like you could see the map at the beginning. Do I have that part? Oh, back to top. This is the map right here. This is it. Yeah, you can zoom in like that. Look, I can even see the tap icon. There's a tap icon right here. Nothing happens when I tap it. I guess 'cause I'm not connected up with a wallet. But yeah, you can zoom in and there's a tap. It says tap. That one's not moving, so maybe that's just like a test one or something, but it's not, it doesn't work. So yeah, if you hit this connect thing here, look what comes up. Continue with Discord, that's social media, and oh look, connect with wallet. Your app wallet in one click. You need to connect your wallet. Dude, this isn't a game. I don't think anyone can reasonably call this a game. They're calling it NFT based entertainment. They're not even trying to call it a game. 10,000 collectible artworks meet real game utility. This is what they think. This is what Square Enix thinks their payday is going to be. This nonsense. And by making the, as you can see, the artwork, they've just done a generic character design, but vaguely with that kind of you know, Final Fantasy type Square Enix Japanese RPG type look to them. That's how they look. But it's all essentially the same face with, you know, just like a random character generator, basically. Roche says, Square Enix PayPal me and I'll join the crypto bros. Cuts it over. It's all crypto bros hoping to make a bag because of Square. Exactly. It's all, these are all crypto bros. I'm telling you, go and look at the comments of this thing. Oh yeah, someone tweeted about this. I'm gonna go over that. So listen, I'm gonna be back in just 1 minute. 1 minute. I've got to turn the light on because it's actually the sun's going down here. 1 second. Hang on. Mic on? I think I even forgot to mute myself or whatever. You can hear me, right? I'm gonna bring Keycare in to join me with this NFT discussion. Keycare, welcome if you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, it's good to be here.
Good to have you. So have you seen these this NFT game by Square Enix?
I mean, I looked at it and then I didn't want to look at it again, so I don't know much. I didn't like read it. Like I didn't go into it that much, but yeah.
Yeah. So, oh hi, Vinnie Mac. Vinnie Mac's in the waiting room. Hi, Vinnie Mac. I'll bring you in just a few minutes, right? Yeah. So, basically, I've kind of gone over some of it, and then here's the these characters. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stream, you'll be able to see what I'm displaying. That these characters they all have the same face, and these are the real characters, what they're going to look like. And then, as you heard me talking about the comments, it's all crypto bros. It's literally all crypto. I mean, look. This is the same character again, as the other one we just saw. It's like the same. It's the same face. Look at this. And like I said, they all have that kind of, you know, vaguely Final Fantasy kind of, almost like how they look a bit like the Bravely Default characters. I feel like a little bit like that. Like they're slightly chibi.
Sort of, yeah. Sort of. There's something, yeah, but maybe because of the genericness, they sort of look off. And definitely the accessories, quote unquote, don't help. Freaking hats.
The hats are pasted on. They're pasted on. You can see their heads outside the hats and the hair outside the hats.
Yeah, they're literally like probably just they made a random like character generator.
Yeah.
And they just made up. Well, but yeah, like man, I'm not. Yeah, I thought I was done with NFTs and cryptos, but man, Square Enix is bringing it back.
They don't have noses. That's the other. They don't really like. There's a vague hint of a nose, but you can't really see their noses. I think that's what makes them look a little bit, you know, Children of the Corn type look. The lack of a nose.
Mm-hmm. I can, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. weirdly enough, it doesn't surprise me that there's a bunch of crypto bros in the comment section. Like
Yeah.
we're like they're weird like that. That like they appear out of nowhere. Like you could be like talking about anything else, but the moment you say crypto in your tweet, they suddenly appear like
Oh
out of the
yeah,
bushes.
I've noticed. I've done it before. Even like there'll even be bots. Like if you say anything related to that, there's like, because I've done it before, and it's like instant tweet likes and not even likes, like more like retweets. And sometimes
Yeah.
likes as well, but normally like retweets and stuff. I'm like, how did that happened? And then you go and look at it quickly, and it's this crypto bros, and like they've set up bots or whatever. But look, this art is just wow. What? Really?
It is. It is. Wow.
This
all right.
no-nose
Wow.
chibi generic character was smoking a
Whoa.
cigarette that they've deliberately, like I said, they've deliberately made the faces androgynous so they can make them either more feminine or more masculine. So they all have they're kind of ambiguous, right?
Yeah, so they don't want to make a male and a female, and like they just make the one.
Yeah, they've just like, yeah, either feminine or masculine is the way I would put it. Because I mean, like, is this character more feminine or more masculine? It's like it's just in between, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have this chart that this is someone called Lady Emily, okay, Great Cheshire, who's has this chart. Now I think this is what this chart is from Square Enix. I think they put out this chart of how their game works. And they've said, decided to look more into Square Enix's new NFT game, and imagine seeing something like this and going, wow, this looks fun and worthwhile. So here, I'm going to display this on the screen. Here's the chart.
Oh my god.
Of how this works. And whilst you look at that, I'm going to bring in Vinnie Mac. Hopefully his mic works this week. There's some technical issues last time. Hi Vinnie Mac, welcome. Can you hear me okay?
Good afternoon, everyone, or in your case, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am doing great. A wonderful show as always.
Thank you. We're just talking about Square Enix, their NFT endeavors, and crypto bros that seem to be all the people that are commenting on the, those generic ass looking no-nose, vaguely Final Fantasy looking characters.
There is an art style where you use the same face and kind of put different hats and hair on them. I know Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1. I know does that. Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama's artwork. I know he's classic Dragon Ball, classic Dragon Ball, classic Dragon Ball Z. They all have the same face but different hairstyles and all that. So that is a known art style. I guess it just makes it easier.
Yeah, I do get that. It's not. They're not the first. It's not the first. Obviously, not the first artwork or anything to use that. The thing that's a little bit more egregious is the fact that they're saying there's going to be 10,000 of them, right? So in order to make 10,000, sorry.
So when it comes down to the NFT, isn't it supposed to be the actual image or the picture itself is supposed to be unique? Is that my understanding? I don't know if you have any NFT bros.
So the NFT is basically it's not technically the image itself. It's like a receipt that kind of links back to the image, right? So the image, so the reason they've made the images like each one unique is so they can say, oh look, it's a unique artwork that you're getting with this NFT. But my understanding is that NFT is more like a receipt on the blockchain that points to this thing that says you own this thing, rather than it being the thing itself.
So if you own character A with hat B, then that is a unique receipt for that particular transaction. Is that
exactly?
my understanding?
Yeah. The receipt's unique. Yeah. and it's like it
I
can't
I
be
don't.
replicated or especially non-fungible, right?
So I don't know if this is the future. It kind of sounds like unique DLC. If you want to kind of put into kind of some more recent, the Nintendo Switch shirt on Link, I guess you might have been able to call that an NFT if each shirt had its own color and all that. I don't know if that's the future. I don't know how you're going to make money off that because you can't trade it. I don't know how you're going to trade it.
Yeah. So that basically, yeah, that if that was like attached to an NFT, like the token, right, and then you make each shirt unique, then it'd be something like that, but it'd have to be like integrated in, like blockchain would have to be integrated into the game, what like a lot of these crypto bros are saying is that they want this metaverse thing where all you can take one piece of DLC or you know.
And this
Yeah.
is a direct result of long development cycles, bloated budgets. You have to make that money back. So, you're not going to get 2 million people going to buy your game, especially if it's an okay or new IP style game. Spending all
Yeah.
this money, you have to get some of that money back. So I guess this could be the wave of the future. Who knows? This could pay off. It may just be past our prime. Maybe the next generation of gamers may be able to utilize it in a more inventive, fun way. But I definitely don't see an appeal of having a unique transaction receipt tied to this particular image, and I can trade that around. I don't see that as fun. I see that as work. So I don't
Right.
know what Square is seeing that the rest of us are not,
See,
because they can't be seeing money.
they are seeing money. I agree with you, Vinnie Mac, because like I don't think that you can just completely dismiss this technology offhand, right? It could have some use and utility, that will benefit people. But as it is right now, what they're doing, not to mention the fact that in order to make these to mint these NFT tokens, it uses up an extraordinary amount of energy because of all the different you have to run so many like graphics cards and everything to generate these tokens to mint them, right? So there is an environmental aspect to it, but that aside, I feel like we can't completely dismiss you know how useful they could be, but in the way that they're being implemented now with like, oh, you're getting these characters, and like you said, it sounds like work. What they're doing. So this is the whole idea of it. I believe is just like, oh, you're like play to earn. That's kind of what they call it, play to earn. But it doesn't seem like a game. It doesn't seem like much of a game
Well,
to me.
because of Square Enix, I know they talked about this last year. When I know, come January 1st, 2022, I know the Square Enix president talked about play to earn.
Yeah.
Really, what he was talking about kind of was like what the modding community does now. We're going to release a half finished game, and then the users are going to go ahead and complete the game for us. That's kind of what they're talking about, and I don't know if this is just an extension of that or not.
Um, it could be. It's hard to know exactly what. I mean, just from I only have like a really. I don't completely understand it all, but I have looked it up and tried to see how it works and what these NFTs are and stuff like that. But I only have a limited understanding. But it seems to be like you're doing something that's like what they're calling a game anyway, and then you can earn money whilst you're doing it. But it's I feel like it's pretty bare bones in what I would call game mechanics, and also pretty exploitative in that they're deliberately making these. You're making something that you're intentionally making to be rare so that people will want it.
Right. Right. I agree with that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I said, at least to me, it may just be past me. It may be for my kids, but it's no longer for me. And so I'm past it. I'm sure the next generation of gamers, they may want to be able to trade shirts or trade guns or trade cosmetics and be able to pay for those transactional trades. I don't see the fun in it. I really don't. But it's not marketed towards me. It's marketed to the next generation. So
that could be right. And like with these NFTs, unlike regular kind of microtransactions, which might cost you a few pounds, a few dollars, or whatever, up to you can get like 100, 100 gems is $100 or something like that. NFTs are way more expensive than that because it would be like, one Ethereum, which is like it's got to be one Ethereum has got to be like thousands, right? It's not. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to get involved in like doing this sort of thing.
I don't know how you're going to make money within the video game space. I don't know how you're going to be able to use an NFT within the world of a video game. I know Parasite Eve was talking about trying to do like an NFT style game. I don't know how somebody who invests in that is supposed to make money off that.
Well, luckily for us, Vinnie Mac, Square Enix has provided us with a handy dandy chart that will explain how to do it. Now, whilst I look at that, I'm going to bring Mousy in, who's just joined us as well. Welcome, Mousy. Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Welcome, Mousy.
Hi.
Hi, nice to have you here. We're talking about Crypto Bros and Square Enix and their shenanigans and how one will earn money from this game, quote unquote, Symbiogenesis. And as I said, Square Enix has provided us with this chart that will explain how we're going to be making money for it. So buckle in. Let's check it out. In Symbiogenesis, it is important to control selling pressure because of the strong link between game progression and NFT. The following two mechanisms may be used to control the selling pressure of NFTs. And then we have written in yellow, playing advantage for character NFT holders, buying pressure from players who want to participate in the world mission. These 2 points will be discussed in the next section. And so we have here this rather extraordinary flowchart. I think you would describe this. We have our start, step 1. Okay, and this is our flowchart where we're looking at this image. If everyone can see the stream, it says, step 1, hold multiple character NFTs and member card NFTs. Hold NFTs for a long time without selling them. And then it's got an arrow saying you can either go gameplay and progress they put gameplay / progress. So gameplay and progress are interchangeable. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll be playing anything. You could issue the NFT and get the replica NFT, at which point then it's the revenue. You can sell and get revenue, or you can buy to get quest hints. And it says acceleration. So you're buying. How is this held up? They're selling quest hints, and then it says acceleration. So you're buying progress through this game. That seems to be what it's saying. Step 2, log in with your character NFTs or member card NFTs, complete missions, quests, and unlock stories. And then you've got steps 3, 4, 5, and 7, which is like progressively rank up, become top member, all mission difficulty quests, high difficulty quests, right? And it's reward. And then step 8, obtain participation for the right world mission, and then sell revenue in yellow. So that's how you make money. It's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
It makes total sense to me.
Well, I think part of the thing with the NFTs is they're not really at a state where, like, ideally, if you were at a point, this is future talk, but if you were at a point where, like, everybody was connected and you bought an NFT and could take that NFT everywhere you went, so you had an avatar and all this way that you're talking about money, but they're not connected like that. So it sounds stupid to us, right? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
At this stage, no, it doesn't, because in order to have that kind of future you have to get all these competing companies basically to all cooperate and say, right, we're all going to make something that's interchangeable in all these different games.
And they're not going to. I mean, you can't even get like these different companies, so you're never going to get that. So it's just it's pretty funny to me. I was going to tell you though that the art style reminds me of that Apple Arcade game that Square did, Various Daily Life.
Oh, you mean Various Day Life. That's made by Team. That's why I said like Bravely Default. It's made by Team Asano. It's that same. It looks like that same art style, right?
Yeah, but is it made by Team Asano? Did they make that game too?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Or was that like a side mobile team? Because that
No, it was Team Asano. They made that game, and then they it was Apple Arcade exclusive, and then a couple of months ago they released it like multi-platforms. I think it's on Switch, PS4, and PC. Yeah, I have a physical copy of it because I was so excited because that was a one Team Asano game that was just locked that you just could not. I ain't got an Apple device and I'm not paying for Apple Arcade, right? So they made they made physicals of it. You can get them on PlayAsia, and I bought one.
Well, the problem with the Apple Arcade games is most of them are separately. So you're stuck once you're done with your subscription. It's like it'd be one thing to buy it, you know, like if you just had an iPad, to just buy these games for the iPad and you're set, but you can't do that. Like you have to maintain an active subscription. So if you just want to play that game, subscription for all the games.
Exactly, and I'm sure you've heard about that game Fantasian, made by Hironobu Sakaguchi. Yeah. So that one is a game that's locked on Apple Arcade, right? And you, like you said, you can't buy them separately. And there was I think there was a recent interview. He's in Monaco for some event or something like that, and they were asked him about that, and he's like, oh, maybe there's a possibility of it going, but if you look at all the games he's made with Mistwalker, none of them have been, I don't think any of them have been ported anywhere.
Not since he's gone mobile. But you know, I mean, this isn't a discussion with NFTs, and I could probably surmise something, so I don't want to derail the conversation. So we'll just leave it at that.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. You can say whatever you'd like.
I was gonna say when he left Square, he had a dissatisfaction with Sony at the time period. So obviously he went to Xbox, and then he went to making I think he made some Nintendo game. And then now he's on mobile, but he may be willing to move over to Switch. He clearly has a dissatisfaction for Sony.
Is that right? Okay, I wasn't
none
aware
of his
that.
games. Yeah, none of his games since he left have been on a Sony PlayStation, as far as I know.
I think you're right. I don't think they have. Yeah, because there was the Xbox ones, and then the Wii, and then a mobile.
Phone.
And so maybe something that was maybe it was one on PC as well, and then I think you're right about that. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of why he took the Apple Arcade deal. Is that I think it was because there's probably guaranteed money, and he could make an actual game. But I mean, obviously, if Fantasian had popped on Switch, you can't tell me that game wouldn't blown up on the charts. It's just it's locked on mobile, so you kind of lock out quite a number of people that are used to playing that style of game.
Yeah, because I remember, if you remember when it came out and they released it in 2 parts, a lot of people were actually talking about it, but it was it's locked on, it's on mobile, and it's not only is it on mobile, it's only on Apple, and it's only in Apple Arcade, so you can't even buy it separately, you can't download it, as in download to keep, right? So it's on a really strange platform. I don't know because since Various Day Life is now on other platforms, because I thought that was an Apple Arcade forever, but now Various Day Life has come off. It's made me think, well, maybe this one can, Fantasian is not it's not owned by Apple. Maybe it's not owned by Apple forever. Maybe it will be, and if in the future it can go to other platforms. But
I don't think Apple wants to own IP like that. I really don't. So I don't think that they did that because I mean, I can't. I just they don't seem interested in working with their own IPs and things of that nature. They'd rather be like the platform like the Apple Arcade system. So hopefully that leads to that. But again, I derailed the NFT conversation. So do we want to go back to that? Or
I just now you've brought it up, I kind of want to look up that Fantasian game. Fantasian gameplay. Let's see if I can find it.
Well, there we go.
I just we're talking.
Hi, everybody.
Official gameplay. This is a gameplay trailer. Wait, can I play this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's sorry about that. There's ads on here. There you go. It's the Diablo 4 ads. Okay. Why is this music?
Everywhere for a long time.
Is this the actual music from the game? What's this? This sounds like. Yeah, they made all these dioramas for this. Like, actually made them. Like, legit made these in 3D. That's what makes it look really cool. Can you believe this is locked on mobile? It's this criminal. Now, this is the thing. This game came out 2 years ago. I have to turn the music off. This game came out 2 years ago, and I had a comment in the chat. J2 Blue says, bruh, I'm just trying to play a doggone game. I know, right? J2 Blue, yeah. J2 Blue also says Fantasian would be perfect on the Switch. Now, let me tell you something, right? If they had released this on Switch 2 years ago, when this game came out, it would have been really extremely popular. People would have been really excited for this. Problem is now, there's a similar problem that I think maybe Octopath 2 face, is that there's so many like really good JRPGs on the Switch now. It's like it's a lot of competition. Although this game does look cool. Oh, this is a bit small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make it full screen.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler, it could be a combination of that, but also this is like a really, so to be fair, like, I mean, to be fair to Octopath, Square Enix literally in a 6-month time period rapid fire released like a game almost every 2 weeks.
Basically,
And,
yes.
I mean, yeah, there is a lot more competition, but I do think something like this and Octopath would have been able to, they would have grabbed the attention. Like for smaller games, sure. For something from Falcom, East, sure, I agree, there's so much competition, but I really feel that Octopath is a victim of Square themselves releasing too much in a very short window. And even with marketing, it's like we all have whiplash from every game they launched. I mean, it's like you could be a Square Enix fan. None of us bought every single one of those games.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. There was so many, especially at the end of last year. It was just back to back to back to back. None of the games had any chance to breathe. Pretty much all of those games are kind of forgotten. Who's talking about Star Ocean 6 now? No one.
Which is a shame because, I mean, one, that game was better than the previous entry, and two,
so?
They should have delayed that one because at least that one could have been delayed. It needed a little bit more work, at least with the lip sync.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. I played the demo and that lip sync was pretty bad.
Yeah, oh my god, it was awful. It's like you could have delayed that one. Like that one could have been delayed, and then don't understand why they had to release all of those. So, and then they released. You and I have talked about it. Dragon Quest Treasures, which is basically a monster catching game on top of Pokemon. Who releases a monster catching game on top of Pokemon? Like,
yeah,
what?
That was kind of dumb. This game does look quite cool, right? This Fantasian. I understand why he did it, like because it was guaranteed funding and everything. And if you just have a creative vision, but like, so few people got to play this. I remember when it came out, like people were talking about it, but yeah, I mean. The whole Square Enix thing. Square Enix are just like, they made some really dodgy decisions that I think a lot of us could see coming from a mile off, even not, it's like, well, it doesn't make sense to release a whole bunch of games all back to back like that, all together at the end of the year, basically. And almost all of them underperformed.
I agree with Vinny on
you can infer that from what they said.
I said I was going to agree with Vinny on the whole. This is like a byproduct of them putting so much money in certain IPs, and
Not
so
others.
when those games don't do well, you know, I mean, right now the management of the company has just been a joke.
Right, and so I was at first you're like, okay, they're getting rid of the CEO, because I don't know if you remember Mousy, but I've been saying for months they needed to get rid of him. I've been on that train for a long time. But then this Kiryu guy, airbrushed Kiryu, he's a crypto bro. So like, I don't know, man. Like this. I would like to see them do what they're doing, but with more love and care, and not like spread so thin. You know, instead of like releasing like a what was that game now? Like a Valkyrie Elysium and a Harvest Stellar, and games that seem kind of a little bit, could have been a bit better type thing. You know, maybe consolidate that and release one game that has a longer development cycle, or
Agree that
more time in the oven.
Oh, you're right. Like, the thing is, Deerfield,
that's the other one I forgot about. Yeah, Deerfield.
From the rapid fire that they released, in my opinion, Deerfield was the only one that was actually should have been released in late last year, because it was the only one that really didn't have any problems. Like, because Valkyrie Elysium released it, but it probably should have, and maybe you can make it, but they had to release it was supposed to come with that re-release of that PS2 game, I think, PSP game.
Oh yeah, the PSP, I think it was a PSP game, right? Or the old...
It was an originally a PS1 game that was ported to the PSP.
Okay.
Valkyrie Lenneth.
That's right, yeah, and it got delayed, right? I think it was maybe to do with... people speculated that the emulator or something wasn't ready, because it was being released on the Sony's what do they call that thing now? The the PS Premium,
the PlayStation Plus
Premium thing. So I believe it was using the same emulator that they're using, because they're putting PSP games on there, right? So and it's the PSP version. So that was a speculation anyway, that it was something to do with that. I don't know what the actual issue was, but it was. I think they did eventually release it, but it was delayed, and they did only release that on, I believe why people thought it was to do with using the emulator was because it was only being released on PlayStation and not PC, whereas Valkyrie Elysium is also on PC, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they still could have just done Deerfield, and then a little later they could have done Tactics Ogre, which got no attention, and then they could have come over with the other ones. I mean, it doesn't. Like I said, that was the only one that felt like it absolutely didn't need any extra, it was fine. And now, of course, they're coming out with Deerfield, an extra campaign and all that. So maybe they could have waited. It's like their cadence has just been, and I'm assuming all these got delayed because of COVID, but then it's instead of adjusting the release schedule, they just rapid fire released it and we all got whiplash.
So I think that there was some catch up from COVID, right? There would have been catch up from that, because obviously that affected everybody and everything, and it affected. I know that they did say that it had affected the development studios in Japan, pretty badly. But yeah, it would have been better for them to spread it out. But the thing is, I think the reason why they didn't spread it out was because the previous quarter had also been down on profit and revenue, right? Or the sales have been down. So they're like, okay, we need to get a load of these released before the end of the next financial year. And I think that's why they just all came like that all of a sudden.
I agree with that, but from a financial perspective, isn't it better to say, hey, look, we didn't release anything, we were down, versus, hey, we released 9 games and none of them did well?
I don't know. Maybe they thought was going to do well somehow. Maybe they thought it was going to do well. They thought.
Well, yeah, but I think they still would have been up. Like if they had picked one or two to really, and that's another problem with their whole like marketing, whatever. But if they had picked one or two to really like zero in on, focus on it, I think it would have been fine. You know, like just focus on make Harvestella your big deal, make Valkyrie Elysium your big deal. But like something like that. Instead, you end up
with a lot of them kind of half baked or not enough focused, or they all got Neo the World's End of You. It's just they got Neo the World's End of You.
Yeah.
And Octopath 2, it happened. Octopath, it really pains me that what they actually did, because I love that franchise. I got a load of like Octopath, like different collector CDs and all things like that, right? So it kind of pains me that they did that, and I had like someone coming at me on Twitter when I said, "Oh, it hasn't done as well as the first game." Oh, they're like. Someone said to me something like, "Oh no, Square," and I said they put it on more platforms because they wanted it to sell more than the first game. The first game sold 3 million, right? And then someone said to me, "No, they knew it was going to sell less when they put it on more platforms." Like, what? Why would you spend the money putting a game more on more platforms if you knew in advance it was going to sell less? That makes no sense. They put it on more platforms to sell more. And now I think there's zero chance of it selling more. I think it will go over 1 million. I think it could even hit 2 million. It's not going to get to 3 million. This is impossible because because like I said before, the first game was in the voucher program. It went into the voucher program in like 2019, into the voucher thing that Nintendo has. Went into in 2019, and that's a load of the sales came from like 2019 and 2020, and it has to be that voucher thing. Why it sold so much?
But I mean, the thing is, Square.
Get it out! Get him!
Square is just.
I'm sorry, Mousy. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't want to overtalk you.
So I'm taking a look. There has been a lot of talk about the second half of Square Enix, just shotgunning a bunch of games. But let me read the dates. So from Live a Live, that came out over the summer. You had Voice of Cards. That's probably not a real expensive game to make. So that came out in September. Various Daylife. That's not an expensive game. You can probably go with that. That also came out in September. We had Dealfield Chronicles, came out in September 22nd. You had Valkyrie Elysium that came out on September 29th. So there may have been a little bit of crossover with that, but Valkyrie Elysium was a PlayStation-only game. So those PlayStation 4 guys, those PlayStation 5 girls, if you wanted a PlayStation RPG, your game was Valkyrie Elysium. And then on October 27th, because Valkyrie Elysium is a 10-hour game, 10, 11-hour game, so it's not going to take you that long.
I don't know, is that short?
Yeah, it's a short game. It's about a 12-hour game. If we were still renting games, it'd be the perfect game to rent.
Right.
Star Ocean came out in October 27th. So there was a little bit of breathing room. We had about a month between Valkyrie Elysium and Star Ocean. Harvestella came out on November 4th. That was a Switch-only game. So there wasn't really any competition between Dealfield Chronicle and Harvestella. And then after that, you had Tactics Ogre. That came out on November 11th. Dragon Quest Treasures came out on December 9th. So there was a little bit of breathing room. The game that may have, and I don't know if anybody really want to say it, but I will say it. The game that probably could have been delayed was Crisis Core. You probably could have held that to around Final Fantasy Rebirth when you were probably ready to sort of do that big blowout. That game probably could have sat on that game for about a year. And I think that game sort of drained a lot of Square Enix's sort of play. Because when you really take a look at the dates and the platforms, each platform may have gotten 2 games within about 60 days or so, and you don't have a lot of crossover either. So there may have been a little bit of crossover between Valkyrie and Star Ocean. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, there is a crossover. If you're on Switch, within the course of a month, you got Harvestella, Dragon Quest Treasures, Crisis Core, and Tactics Ogre. In
all
60
of
days.
those games are different styles of games. You're dealing with a tactical RPG, you're dealing with a farming sim, and then you're dealing with a monster collector game. And then you're dealing with your standard
true,
action RPG.
But I'll say what I've said before. people only have so much money and time. Like they just literally don't have time and the money to. If you've got to choose, you know, in that time period at the end of the year, from like, what was it like? What did you say? It was from October to December. What are you going to pick out of those games, and what else was releasing around that time that may have had your attention? Like one of the things that Mousy pointed out was the proximity of Dragon Quest Treasures and Pokemon.
Dragon Quest Treasures. You did have Final Fantasy. If you want to go outside of Square Enix, you had Pokemon, and I want to say God of War released around that same time too. So that probably was a lot of people's income from that.
Yeah, and so also on Switch at that time, which you didn't list, but it is Square Enix. Around that time period, October was the Nier Automata.
Near Automata. Yep.
Switch.
Exactly.
You're breaking up a little bit for me,
yeah,
Elsie.
so, and then on top of that, oh, sorry.
You said Nier Automata, right? Your Nier Automata, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also, for other companies, Persona 5 released in October for Switch.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
By the
But,
way,
I mean,
I was just gonna say that Nier port sold pretty well for being a late port, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe Switch was really wanted the Nier Automata, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say for Switch, now I agree, you know, as far as PlayStation goes, maybe it wasn't as whiplashy, but for Switch owners, which is the Octopath 2 people for the most part, it was whiplash. Like, it was like every 2 weeks there was a new game and there is some crossover with, like, say, Harvestell is a farming sim, but it's also an RPG.
Yeah, which you'd think would do really well on Switch, but I think it was kind of like mediocre performance, to be honest with you. I think if it had got more time and attention, that it could have sold more in a clearer window. But there was just, like you said, there was so much stuff bunched up, and like you do have to make a choice when it comes to this type of thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that like a game is always going to be affected by another game. Like an example I'll give would be like, if you remember, over a year ago now, you had the Pokemon remakes, Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl, and what released right next to that? SMT5, and everyone was saying, oh no, SMT5's gonna tank, because it's a monster collecting game as well, right? Basically. But it did well despite that, and I think because maybe those games are kind of, even though the gameplay is like similar, right? Their style's kind of different, so maybe that's why in that case, and it didn't seem to affect it, right? So I think that they need to look at it like that, with like you know, it can also, sometimes it can be unpredictable because games can get delayed and moved around, but I think Square Enix themselves, they're in control of their own games, or like when they're releasing, and they could have done that better. And I think maybe you've got a good point about Crisis Core, that maybe it could have released closer
I think
to
it could have too. Yeah, he's right.
Rebirth. Not too close, but maybe they did that because they didn't want it near Final Fantasy 16.
Well, that was to me the game that did not need to be released when it needed to be released. It doesn't really fit with anything either. So you're releasing this Final Fantasy 7 game, and there's no Final Fantasy 7 anything else around it. So that could have been the game that you could have waited till, you know, Final Fantasy Rebirth, when that was coming out, maybe when that Final Fantasy mobile game was about to be released. You know,
I forgot that got delayed.
That game could have been slotted at any time.
I'm actually we're talking about mobile games and that. That game looks really, I wish it wasn't mobile anyway. It looks really good.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch back to, it was really nice to meet you guys, Vinny, Kikat. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right.
Kiki.
But I do need to Kiki. I do need to get back to work though, but I will be listening. And again, great ideas, great discussion. It was super cool to finally be able to talk to Vinny and Kiki. And again, as always, Judy, adore you. Bye.
Thank you so much for
Enjoy the
joining
rest
me.
of your Friday.
Enjoy your day. Bye bye.
You too.
Femboy Friday. I couldn't fit it in the title. It's today. Today is Femboy Friday. I'll be talking about that in a second. Yeah, talking about these mobile games. I thought that Final Fantasy. I think it's called Ever Crisis. Is it called Ever Crisis? It's Final Fantasy.
Yes, ma'am. I think you're right. I think you're right. It is called Ever Crisis.
Final Fantasy. I'm gonna find it on YouTube. Seven Ever Crisis gameplay. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, here's a 2 years ago. 2 years? Did it really 2 years ago that they released this trailer? Get out of here! It just looks so cool because I don't know about you, but this is the remake that I would have wanted. I don't even gonna front.
I agree with you. To me, when I was thinking of a nice Final Fantasy VII remake, I was always thinking about Final Fantasy VII remade in the Kingdom Hearts 2 engine, and that would have been enough. Redo the script, give us voice acting, and I think that's what the community wanted.
If they had this literally made this as what they're saying now, but made it as a console game and released this, in Japan and worldwide, this would have sold gangbusters in Japan. I know.
I agree. Yeah.
But this is what I'm talking. Okay, I need to. The music's really cool, but I got to mute it. This is what I'm talking about. Square Enix and their management. Who the bleep decided to make this a mobile only game? How does this make any sense? Why? It makes no sense.
Because it fits with the mobile market. Because that means you don't have to create the game all at once. You can build the game as you go.
And they can monetize it with this gacha stuff.
And they can monetize it.
Which is basically what they've done. Yeah, but it's cool because you're running around with the little chibi models with the so it looks like the old top-down style. And then when you go into the battles, as it did like in the original game, you go into like a different view and kind of like more detailed model. So that's how it looks on here, and it looks like. It's basically Final Fantasy VII Remake, really, is what it looks like when it goes into the battles. So it's like 4 games combined? But this was delayed. Now I know what you're saying, but I really think they should have. I'm not sure it was a great decision. Thank you, Mousy. Thanks so much for joining me. I believe it's only the second ever time I've talked to you, because there's only one other time really. Do you remember when we was on Spaces? And we spoke one time there as well. So it's only the second time I've ever spoken to Mousy. Nice to speak to you. Yeah, so I think oh no, don't autoplay the next thing. I think that game looks cool, but that's just my opinion. I'd like to play it. Talking of mobile games, I feel like we should talk about this Persona 5 mobile game.
Yeah, Persona.
So this was announced. So, like a couple of years ago, there was this like weird trailer made. It was made by Perfect World, right? And it just had Codename X, and it kind of looked like Persona 5, but didn't say anything about Sega or Atlas or anything. So people are like, is this an official thing, or is this a rip-off? Because, sometimes in China there'll be rip-offs of things and things like that, right? Because they don't have the same copyright laws. So, it just went radio silent for 2 years. So it's like, no one really thought about it, right? Then lo and behold, last night, we get an announcement in the trailer, and people were talking about it, and they were tweeting this like just a key art, basically. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just key art. They're like, no. And this is a Jago. So Jago, where are you? You should be here. Where are you? I'm joking. I know you Jago, I know you finished work. It's 7:00 here in the UK. You can be here. He's out living it up on the town, I bet. Have fun, Jago. Yeah, so we got this trailer. This is Perfect One. Now, I found a version of the trailer that has English subtitles. So somebody has translated. People have translated it, and from my very, very, very basic Japanese, it sounds pretty accurate. So let's have a look at this trailer here. I'm gonna have some sound on it. So if you'll take a look at the stream, Keycare and Vinnie Mac, if you're still there. then you can watch it there on the stream. For me, it's a bit loud. So this is made by Perfect World, not made by Atlas, okay? Atlas did not make this. Oh wait, hold up a sec. Why is this... Is this HD? It's so low.
確かに見た。この町のどこかに選択したやつがいる。
何食べたい？
なんでもいい。違う。どこだ。いないなんてことないよな。
I literally thought when I first saw this, I thought this was like a Persona 3 or Persona 5 part 3
expansion
type
or
game.
something.
Like,
yeah.
Like Persona 5 Strikers. I was kind of thinking this was going to be like part 3 of that. It would have been easy just to capitalize on the Persona 5 name.
It is not that, but it looks like an expansion of the original game, and I believe it's pretty much using the original game's like assets, apart from like there's new characters and stuff, right?
And this is the reason why a lot of people don't like mobile games, because they see this type of game and they really want to play it, but they don't want to play it on their phones.
They don't want to play it on phones. It's going to be a gacha game, by the way. This is completely gacha. But anyway, I've got a couple of more minutes, so we'll talk about it in a sec.
そう心得ていただきたい。君、そう、そこの君だ。この光景を見ているということは、いずれ君は選択をする側のものとなるという理解でよろしいかな。我々がベルベットルームと呼ぶこの場所にならば楽しみにしていよう。君が客人として訪れるの。
Okay, and then there's an ad which I can just ignore. So that's the trailer with some what the bloody ad. Maybe I will put ad block on there. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? So this is how many ads? This is ridiculous. Look at this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cancel. There's another one with English subs. So this is why we're calling this Femboy Friday, because I made the mistake of just looking at the trailer and whatever and thinking his character is female. Nope, character is not female. The character is officially male, and his name is, this is the code name Wonder. So that's why it's Femboy Friday, okay? Because we got a femboy. And Mousy said, oh, we should patent Femboy Friday. And I'm like, no, I think it's because I've heard it before, and I think it's a TikTok thing. I think Femboy Friday is from TikTok or something. But anyway, it's cool. Love me some femboys. So, I knew he doesn't have like a regular name like Ren or whatever. Maybe they'll give him one. But basically, yeah. So here's my thoughts on this, and I think there's a gameplay one as well, but I didn't look at this. What is this one here? Oh, there's another one. Maybe we can look at this game. How long is this? It's like 4 minutes long. Well, maybe I'll play it in a bit because it's a bit long. This game, as I said, this has not been made by Atlas. It's been made by Perfect World, but we do have some details that, and this is via Persona Central. No, I do not want that Chrome extension. I do not want a million ads. Go away. That we know that for certain that I think all the characters probably. The main character, codename Wonder, as I said, that's his name. Was designed by the character designer of the previous three Persona games, which is Soejima, is his name, is the character designer. So I think he's probably designed all of them, but I think that's the only one where we know where it's like for certain. Because I can't imagine that they got someone else to design the rest of these when they all have the same art style. And by the way, I really like this owl. This new owl. The mascot is an owl that has a pair of goggles on. Amazing. And I guess that's what the owl looks like when they're in like Mementos or whatever. And here's the owl's persona. The owl's name is... what is that? Luffy, codename Cattle. So, and then we have one character, Arai Suwa, codename Closer. Okay, and this is the... actually, this is really... I'm showing it to you. I forgot this is really small on the thing. Sorry about that. So, can I make this big? I think that's the biggest I can make it. Yeah, so here we go. Here's the owl. Cool looking owl. That's Luffy. And then we have yeah, so two how many party members now? Yeah, so we got a couple of party members and then a new Velvet Room attendant assistant. Right, and I pointed out, and I was like, this is just another character here. What's this character called? Does it say? I don't know what the name of this character is. I pointed out there's only 3 party members that they've shown. Oh yeah, so it says. Oh yeah, Atlas Development. So Atlas was. They didn't make the game, but they was involved in it. In the fact that Shigenori Sorajima personally designed a new protagonist along with his own persona. Yeah, so maybe he only did that one, but that's the only one it says. As a senior character designer of the Atlas art team, the characters he designed for Persona 5 are very popular among players. Protagonists specially designed for P5X this time is also carefully created after consulting a lot of the information based on the game's theme. Now, I don't know where Persona Central has got this information. They have been known for, and this has happened before with Persona Central articles, that they embellish, they editorialize it a lot. So that's where the rumor came from that Sony said Persona's very important to them or something. They never said that, man. It was just them, like, they put their own words into it. It's just their headline. Sony, it's very important. So that's where that whole rumor of it just being completely exclusive to Sony and never going anywhere came from. So take it for what you will with Persona Central. They editorialize a lot. So I don't know where they got this information from, to be honest with you. I don't know where they got that, but I have no reason to disbelieve that the characters were designed by Shorajima, because this is the same art style. They're saying that basically it says here they're only pointing out the new protagonist and his persona. They're not saying that other characters were also designed by him, although they look like they are to me, but who knows. So that's the first thing. This game has not been it's not developed by Atlas internal team, although they've consulted, right? That's the first thing. The other thing, we've seen the trailer. It looks exactly like Persona 5. It looks like they're using the same assets, apart from the new character models. All is the same. It's the same set. They're in Shibuya. Here it's the same thing, right? That's the other thing of it. So people think this looks really cool, and it does. I really like the character. I think the character designs are amazing. It looks really cool. But people are bummed out that it's a mobile game. Now, not only is it a mobile game, but it's only in China. So when you watch it, you'll notice all the voice acting's in Japanese. You're like, okay, well, they must be released. They're releasing this game in Japan. Why is it all in Japanese? If you do look at the official website for this game, or you look on the the Atlas. I don't know if I can find it now. I didn't have it ready. Atlas. Is it .co.jp or something? Is it JP? Oh no, I don't even know. Atlas JP. Let's just type that in. I'll find it. Yeah, here we go. .co.jp. If you look here on the official Atlas site or their news, is it not in the news here? Where is it? Is this the news part? Oh, Vinimax says, "Hey everyone, have to drop. Have a great rest of your day." No problems, Vinimac. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's nice to speak to you as always. Where's the bloody news bit? This is news right here, right? Let's see the news. I could have sworn they had it on here. Where's the news part? This is the first page, right? Wasn't it on here? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Where's their Twitter? We're gonna shortcut. We're gonna shortcut when looking at Twitter. Get rid of that. What's it? It's trying to make me tweet something. No, that's it's got a thing that if you want to tweet to them. Oh, just show me. Oh, this is Twitter. For the love of God. Show me. Okay. Because they definitely tweeted this out. What is happening here? Let's find this. Okay, so the Atlas. I thought that. Oh no, maybe they tweeted it on the Persona one, not this one. Oh, 1 second. The Atlas official account. Where? Oh, here it is. They did. So I told you they tweeted it right here. Okay, so this is the Persona account that tweeted it. Oh, it goes to okay. I didn't realise their news thing was on a different website. I thought it was on the official. I thought it was on the main website. It's not. It's on the Persona. Sorry, it's on. I didn't realise it was on a different website. It's on the Persona channel website, not the Atlas website. So on here, so they tweeted it out on their official. This is the official Persona Twitter account. Tweeted it out, and it links to their official article here. The Atlas West account has not tweeted, but remember, Atlas West is like a marketing and publishing branch. They don't have any say in anything on what happens. So as far as I know, they still haven't tweeted it out. This game has not been announced for Japan, and if it says on here, and if you do, it's like the Google Translate is kind of rough, but it says something like, yeah, deployment undecided. Deployment in Japan is undecided. So they've announced it. Everyone in Japan's seen this, but it hasn't been announced for Japan. And it says, yeah, it's going to be free to play. Yeah, so I watched David Cast JRPG's video. Shout out to David Cast JRPGs. He's a Atlas and RPG content creator. Watch his video today, and he said he thinks it is going to be released or localized worldwide or whatever. And I said, oh, you know, probably not, because this happened before with these Chinese mobile games that don't leave China, and it's, you know, and then some other people like, oh, well, it's in Japanese, so that it's going to be. I said, but they haven't even announced it for Japan. Why would it not be released in Japan at the same time as China? That is my thoughts. Like, why is it in Japanese? I think the reason that the voice acting, because it's not, how hard is it to, it's not that difficult to hire Japanese voice actors. I think the reason it's in Japanese is for flair, because it's set in Japan, it feels more authentic or whatever. Maybe once they release it in maybe they will have Chinese dub at some point, but what they showed us was in Japanese. The voice acting was in Japanese, although all the text was in Chinese. So deployment in Japan is undecided. So I feel here that this it might be a case of licensing. So Perfect World has paid to license the IP, and they have developed the game. And I think maybe that they've, well, I would have thought that they've paid for the license, but only for within China, right? So if you want to release this game in other territories, then it's a separate contract with more different negotiations and stuff like that. And I thought about this, or I got this idea from another Atlas content creator. That's Spencer from the SMT Network. He had an episode of his podcast where he talked to the guy that started pin badges. You know, the pin, what are they called? No, pin box, the pin badges. They spoke to that guy whose name escapes me right now. He spoke to that guy, and he explained how the licensing works. And he recently got a license to license and make pin badges for. He's making them for SMT5. Normally, he does a lot of the Falcon ones, and so he said that these SMT badges are going to be. So he can ship them anywhere in the world except Japan. Cannot ship them to Japan, which seems bizarre, but he doesn't have the license for it. See, the license, it would have to be some separate. It's a licensing issue. Why he cannot sell them? They cannot be sold in Japan. He cannot ship them to Japan. So that's if there's a licensing issue for something like that, then it's understandable how there could be a licensing issues for a game as well, because that's kind of how these things work, right? The licensing. So maybe that's why. So maybe if it's successful, then they will think about doing contracts and licensings for other territories. Because at the moment, it's just I think maybe there's going to be I know it just says iOS and Android here, but apparently there's going to be a beta on PC, I think. Because it does say just iOS and Android, but I think maybe the beta's on PC as well.
No, it's coming to PC as well.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't say that here then, but yeah. So that's what I think. I think it's a licensing thing, and people said, well, they've put a lot of money into it. Have they? Have they really? Like, listen, I'm not questioning that it looks cool or anything like that, but I'm just thinking, like, did this really cost like a lot of money? Because first of all, these Persona games, like, they're not like graphically impressive AAA games anyway. That's the first thing. Secondly, I think look at this trailer, it's all like reused assets and stuff, right? And then the other thing I noticed, which I don't see anyone else pointed this out, when this trailer we looked at didn't have any music on it, but the other one I looked at had music on it, and it wasn't new music. It was just the same music from Persona 5, which making all new arrangements of the music would be like a more expensive thing. So maybe when we see the beta and the full game, there will be new arrangements of music and maybe new tracks or whatever. But at the moment, what they've shown us, there was no new music. So, yeah, it's just like it looks like an expansion. So it possibly could release in other territories if there's if this beta goes well. I think, or if it's a success, or I should say when the full release is successful. My other quick comment on it was to be like, some people say, why are they making this mobile game but like only for China and this type of thing? Like, why would you make a mobile game, put this much effort into it? And I'm not denying there hasn't been effort put into it. It looks cool. I'm just saying I don't think it's like loads of money. Well, some people say that it's a lot of money. I don't think it's a lot of money. But it's not insubstantial amount of money. You know, it's a decent amount of money, but probably not loads. Is what I'm saying, right? Why would they make a game like this, only that looks like a expansion of the original game, and make it only for China? I think it's because clearly, and this is obvious, really. Obviously, they want to this franchise to expand in China, right? Or become more popular in China. And as I pointed out before, these Persona games are already available in China. You can play them right now. They're on PC. They're on every console platform right now in China. I believe they are anyway, unless they've been like, oh no, actually maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. Someone fact check me, because China has an issue where you can't just release things just like that. No, I might be wrong on that. Scratch that. I could be wrong. Maybe those Persona games, maybe that's what it is. Because games are not just released in China just like that. They have to be all approved by the government, and all the stuff has to be censored and all stuff like that. So maybe maybe it isn't in China, and they've made this game has got all sorts of things in it, or it has. Some stuff doesn't get released in China. Let's put it that way. Some stuff doesn't get released in China. Like, I think, basically under the Chinese rules, like SMT, the main Shin Megami Tensei franchise is like banned in China, or they can't release them in China because of the themes to do with, you know, all the religious stuff and the occult and all that. They can't release it. And then another thing is I'm surprised that they've got this protagonist, because they kind of got a weirdo thing about feminine looking male characters as well, even though Genshin Impact is full of them. But anyway, that's a whole another thing. I'm not getting into that right now. I could be wrong. So is somebody here fact checking me? I need somebody fact check me right now. Can you put?
I don't know.
Other Persona games released in China?
I don't think
hang on, Kike, stop it. J2 Blue, I was not calling out Spencer. How am I calling out Spencer? Joke, JK, okay. Alright. I wasn't calling out Spencer. Spencer, where are you? I haven't seen you for ages. Please come on my show. Airbus Kiryu is best Kiryu. I didn't see this. When did you write all these comments? I didn't see this. Okay, or maybe I did see that. Airbus Kiryu is best Kiryu. I know. Oh my god, did you see? Have you seen this dude, Kike? Did you see him? The president of Square Enix. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah, I have.
Look. Hang on. Is this? Look. Hang on. Oh no, that's the old one. Why did you show me the old one? Oh, they haven't put his new thing on there yet. Oh no, I can't make that picture big. How did I get the big picture before? Oh, the images. Yeah, you go ahead. Look! Look how airbrushed this picture is! Look how airbrushed this picture is! But look, I'm looking at, he does look young, because look at this, look. This is the picture that was taken in, whenever they had the, announced the president. He does look pretty young. And I'm like, how does this man have a full head of hair, no grey hair? Look, how does he look so young? He's no grey hair.
Japanese people look right younger than
they do look a lot younger than white people, I think.
Also, Persona 5 apparently did release in China.
Okay, thank you. It did release in China.
But only Persona 5?
Not the other two.
Yeah, not
the old ones either.
Yeah, when I look for Persona 5 in China, I start getting the mobile games, so probably just...
Okay, so Persona 5 released in China, but we don't know if it was censored or not.
No, I do not know. I do not know how it came over. I just see that there's apparently copies of a Chinese version out there, and
Okay, so yeah, so that is an issue with games releasing in China. There's some stuff that just has not released there, and actually a lot of stuff that hasn't released there, and the stuff that does release there gets censored sometimes. So I don't think they've even released those. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if they've released those SMT games. I swear that they were. I read something saying they can't. The SMT is too dicey for China. The character at the beginning of the Japanese version sounds of the what? The character at the beginning sounds like a Japanese version of the SMT5 protagonist. Character at the beginning of what? The trailer? Sounds like a Japanese version of the SMT5 protagonist. I don't understand J2. Please explain that to me.
Please, SMT5? Like
SMT. Please explain that sentence to me. The character at the beginning sounds like a Japanese version of the SMT5 protagonist. Alright, but the SMT5 protagonist...
Isn't he already from Japan?
Isn't he already from Japan? I don't understand. Please explain that to me. I don't understand.
More Japanese. I know people are saying he looks like the Persona 2 protagonist, but I've never heard.
Oh, yeah, he does look a little bit because of the red eyes, yeah. The whole red eyes thing is a recurring... red eyes and red hair is a recurring kind of like anime type thing. So yeah, I did mistake this character for being I'm gonna admit I did thought the character was a girl, but the character is not a girl. The character is a boy. Just very, like I said, it's a femboy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so I've lost my train of Keycare, help me, I've lost my train of thought.
I mean, the game looks great for a mobile game. That's probably the reason why people are saying that it looks so like expensive. Is because for mobile games don't usually look like this. Unless they have it like heavily invested on. About the licensing, so here's Sega probably knows if this game is going worldwide, because if it is, because when you make a game for China. Technically, a Chinese.
Oh my god! Sorry. I just realised I've just seen the ad that's on the side of this thing. I'm gonna have to get ad block. I've just seen the ad that's on the side. Ignore the ad. You didn't see that. Ignore it. You didn't see that ad. Sorry, continue. It was. I'm not gonna describe it. Carry on.
Yeah. So if you want to release a game for China, basically a Chinese company has to release it. For the company, so that's why like other game companies like go work with like let me see, Tencent. What's another one?
Blizzard used to work with Yeah, so this game to me, I'm looking at it now. The gameplay, it looks exactly like it's the same. When I say it doesn't look that expensive, I mean they're literally using all the Persona 5 assets. It's the same assets.
No, yeah. It's just like whenever you hear like it's impressive for mobile, it's because of that. It's like, yeah, they got Persona 5 running on mobile, so that's why people are saying, oh wow, this is impressive. So
it's a PS3 game. It's a PS3 level game. It's not that. Look, when people keep saying that, when people keep saying that Persona 5 couldn't run on Switch, I'm like, oh my good lord. Have you seen this game? Dude, it's like, how many polygons do you think are in these models and stuff? And it's just all like, you have them walking around and it's all like visual novel things popping up on the screen. Like, come on, man, what are we doing here? And it was made for the PS3. So come on,
yeah.
People say that, I'm like, oh, for the love of God. Dude, it's like a PS3 level game. It's not like graphically impressive. I think people look at the art style and they think the art style is graphics, and it's not. That's not the same thing as. Anyway, I'm sure, Kike, I'm sure you can understand what I mean. This is not like graphically. This isn't God of War.
No. It's just that people are not used to like mobile games being like this. Like most of the time.
What about Genshin Impact? Genshin Impact looks better than this.
Yeah, but Genshin Impact costs a lot of money.
Genshin Impact, that's what I'm saying about this. I don't think this cost that much money. Genshin Impact looks better than this, with like better character models.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll. So, what's the company that's releasing it in China?
Perfect World. It's Perfect World. By the way, Perfect World developed it as well, and it's not just they're releasing it and they developed it.
Yeah.
Which isn't a new thing for Atlas, because they've had companies do mobile games for them before.
Yeah.
A lot of them, actually.
Yeah, so basically they're releasing it in China, right? So
Yes.
basically, if I'm, this is just my speculation, whenever they got into the agreement with Sega and Atlas, basically they already would have figured out what would the plan be if the game was released outside of China. And if a I can promise you this, if a Japanese release is made, I can probably guess a worldwide release is probably gonna get made.
Yeah, I would say if a
Because at
Japanese
that
one, then the obstacle for making a worldwide one there isn't like a big obstacle at that point. Yeah,
no,
probably not.
because at that point Sega would be the one releasing the game. Like
Well,
yeah,
maybe not necessarily. It might still be Perfect World because they still release stuff.
no, like I said, they would have discussed that with Perfect World, and probably what most of the time happens is if another company releases it in China, if that company doesn't have a good infrastructure worldwide, then the original company
Oh
will
my
take care of
God.
that.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting these like questionable ads coming up. Like, come on, man.
So Sega also said, and I keep going back to this. Sega said they want to release more games in the Persona 5 series, not Persona. They specifically said Persona 5. And if this is filling up their Persona 5 quota,
Mhm.
like I don't see a world where if this game makes it outside of China, Sega isn't the one releasing it. Like it's not gonna be Perfect World.
Well, how do you know it's not going to be Perfect World?
No, I mean what the company shit.
Oh no, the company's called Perfect World. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, yeah, it's not. I don't think they have the infrastructure to both market and release it outside of China. At least from my speculation. At least not from.
Okay. It's just yeah. Okay, sure.
This is my speculation. Like I said, if this game could also not make it outside of China. This is only if they announce a Japanese release. Like if they announce a Japanese release, then I can bet you they're making a worldwide release.
Yeah, but possibly. But the fact that a Japanese release hasn't been announced, when they went to the trouble of making the Japanese voiceover, is what is throwing a lot of people off. And I think they just did that to add flavour, because if you look at this UI that we're seeing in the game, this is all in Chinese. This isn't in Japanese at all. This is all written in Chinese. This isn't Japanese.
I wonder if because I saw that there's a Chinese version of Persona 5. I wonder if the Chinese version of Persona 5 is only like subtitled, like it's still like Japanese voiceovers, and so they're like, let's just keep it.
Maybe they may have done a Japanese voiceover. Sorry, a Chinese voiceover.
Otherwise, I don't know. I know when we get games from Japan, they don't dub it; they just put subtitles in it. So I don't know if that's the case in China. Sorry.
What I'm saying is that what we're watching is a Chinese trailer. This is a Chinese trailer. Everything, the UI, everything is in Chinese, right? This is not written in Japanese. So it hasn't been made for a Japanese audience. Yet the voiceover we're hearing is in Japanese. So Chinese people can't understand it, which is why there's Chinese... These subtitles at the bottom is in Chinese. They cannot understand Japanese, right? So what I'm saying is I think they've done Japanese voiceovers for this trailer. I don't know if it's going to be in the final game or whatever, for flavour.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally for flavour. Like, why do we have... What was that film, the Passion of the Christ that Mel Gibson made years ago? The Passion of the Christ. They were speaking in ancient... I forgot what that language is called now. Nobody speaks that language anymore. Nobody can understand that in the whole world. Nobody speaks it. Yet the entire film was in that language. I forgot what the language is. Someone's going to say, oh, you dummy, you can't... I can't remember the ancient language of the ancient Hebrews. I can't, alright? But yes, the entire the entire film was in that language that nobody can understand anymore. It's a dead language. Why did they do that? For flavour. It's literally for flavour. Sometimes people they just do that. There's other media and stuff like that where that's been done before, where it's all in another language that you're watching it, you can't understand it, and it's made for an audience that can't speak that language. It's just done for flavor.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it was part of the agreement with Sega that can be also weirdly like that.
I doubt it.
Who knows? I don't think this game's gonna do well.
Okay, what's your... But bear in mind, we don't know the exact monetization, but we're just guessing it's like a gacha type thing, right? So what is your reason why you think this game won't do well in China, where it's going to release, where it's confirmed to release?
This is purely because of the Persona 5 mobile course. Purely because of the Persona 5 mobile course.
Well, but here's the thing. In China, like, mobile and PC is more popular because consoles were banned for decades in China. It's only that they're allowed now, but they were banned for a long time. So that's why you had a lot of mobile and PC. So if you want to make a game for the Chinese market, it needs to be on mobile or PC, basically.
Yeah, that said, it's not like Persona 5. Well, I don't know how much Persona 5 sold
in China.
In Japan, in
Japan.
Persona 5 might not be...
I can tell you.
No, in China. Sorry.
In China, I've no idea, because I don't know. Because did they get the original PS4 and 3 releases at the same time, or within the same time as the rest of the world?
I only found Royal when I was doing my search. However, definitely not the PS3 because
they didn't have
Sony
PS3.
didn't get into. Yeah, Sony didn't get into China until the PS4. So
okay, so
has to be,
from PS4, because the consoles were banned, like. So the reason I say that is like, why make this for the Chinese market, but not make it? We don't have anything confirmed this is going to be worldwide or anything, because they want it to break out in China, and that kind of indicates to me that Persona isn't already like as big as it is in other countries as it is in China. Well, you wouldn't need to make something specifically for that market. It happens a lot of times where stuff is made specifically for that market. There's a lot of different things where companies that we're familiar with will make something specifically for China, and it will be a mobile version of something we already know. So it's not a new. Sorry, I'm stuck on this screen. I'm not playing anything. It's not a new phenomenon. It's not something new for that to happen. But yeah, they want the franchise to grow in China now. So that makes me think it's just not already popular.
Well,
I say as popular as in other countries. It's not as popular there as it is in Japan or the US or Europe or whatever.
Yeah, because I believe the reason Shin Megami Tensei is banned in China is because demons are a no-go.
Yes, it's the demons. But ironically, the exact same demons are in Persona. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, because they're also in Persona. But I think they're not referred to as demons.
Yeah, they're not demons, they're personas. They're
right, that's completely different. It's completely different.
Totally different. They're personas.
They're personas.
So,
and even it's the same things with the same names and the same character. But yeah, they're not referred to as demons, right? So
yeah, so basically, well, we'll see. I still don't think it might do well. I mean, if it does do well, then
but why do you think it won't do well? That's what I would like to know. What, in China, you're saying it won't do well in China. Why?
Well, it's just that there's been so many, even in China, many mobile games that come up and then they close down, and then we never hear from them again. It's like,
it happens everywhere.
I don't know what will make this game so special that it'll go against that trend.
Well, I'll tell you what it's going against, right? It's not going against like an Apex Legends or the Chinese equivalent of what shooters they have. It's not going against what's that one Korean MMO? I forgot the name of. It's not going against. This is going against something like a Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
It's going against a Genshin Impact. A Genshin Impact is a highly monetized gacha game.
Mm-hmm.
That has some co-op or something in it. There's some sort of co-op in it, right? You can co-op with it with people. It's also an action.
Yeah, you can co-op.
It's also an action game.
An open world game.
It's an open world action game. This is not. This is. We can see the gameplay right here. It just plays like. It's a turn-based game. It's Persona, and it looks like it's a single-player game because you probably wouldn't be playing a turn-based game like in this style. As you can see, there's only one character running around. You wouldn't be playing this with a turn-based game in multiplayer, right? So it's turn-based.
Yeah.
I kind of think like when it's this type of game, which is clearly they're trying to have a story in it, right? When it's this type of game, I feel like it's kind of harder to monetize it. Monetize it in that way when it's not like the Genshin Impact. You can see why that one. Do you see what I mean? And you play in that one. You play with multiple characters, and different characters can be your lead character. But whereas this clearly only has one protagonist with party members, and I think you'll end up getting more party members through gacha.
More party members and more personas, probably.
And personas through gacha as well. Yeah, it's probably more like it. You'll probably obtain not demons. You'll obtain the personas through gacha.
Yeah.
And they'll have like 1 star to 5 star and all this super duper versions of them, and this one has a extra armor or some nonsense like that.
This can do extra critical damage. This is weak against lightning, and this is strong against fire, and blah.
Yeah, exactly like that. It's probably what they will do. Do you know what? I think for next time I will get ad block because it's kind of it is kind of annoying.
Did they say when it's coming out in China?
No, they didn't. I don't believe they did.
I mean, they still have time to convince me, or maybe not me, to show the world what makes this so unique.
Where's this?
Or if this is just literally Persona 5 with Persona 5 on mobile.
To be decided. Start time. To be decided. Nothing's been. They've just announced it, and I believe the reason that Atlas official tweeted it out and put it on their Persona webpage and everything is because it's just to show that it is officially licensed or whatever. Even though they tweeted this out in Japanese to a Japanese audience and said, "Well, this isn't released in Japan."
Yeah, something tells me they already know if it's coming out in Japan. But if they don't have a date, then they still have time.
And like you said, the thing with mobile games is that if they're not successful, they shut down, they're gone, and they're lost forever.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I hate as well. So let's say this game isn't successful.
Then
gone.
we never hear. Yeah, that's why I'm always pessimistic when they announce a new mobile game. I'm like,
I agree with you.
That's the real reason why I'm not into mobile games. I don't want to get invested again too much.
Okay, I'm gonna read a couple of these comments and then I'm gonna end in like 10 minutes or so because we've been live for almost 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out now.
Okay. Thanks, Kike, for coming through.
Yeah.
I love the owl as well. Marcy said, the owl's so cool. I love the design of the owl.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Alright, catch you later, Kike.
Catch you later. Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna go and read your comments and wrap up. So JT Bruce says, I meant for the English version of SMT5. They sound like them if they were speaking Japanese. Casey Monglio. Oh yeah. I'll be honest with you, I didn't finish SMT5, but that's a whole nother. I'm gonna get into that now. But I played it both in Japanese. I wanted to hear it in Japanese and then also in English. So I did hear Casey Monglio. I'm sorry if I'm getting their name wrong. I'm not 100% certain on the pronunciation, but yeah, I get you. So you mean the owl sounds like Casey Monglio? I don't know how to pronounce their name, sorry. Is it Casey Mongley does the voice of Nahabina, yeah. JT Blue also says Blackwing Game Studio is a Chinese game developer. Maybe there was some stipulation about where it would release first. Who's Blackwing Game Studios? Blackwing Game Studios? I thought this was made by Perfect World. Is it something else? Is it Blackwing Game Studios? Oh, I need to Google that now. Ugh, can I type? I don't know. Blackwing Game Studios? I have never heard of that. Was it Black Wings Game Studio? Black Wings? There's a game studio. Oh, okay. Oh no, yeah, no, you're right. That logo popped up on the thing. So this is a subsidiary of Perfect World, and they're the studio that develops it. I see what you're saying. Yeah, this logo pops up on the trailer, didn't it? Oh yes, that's the only one they've listed on here. Oh my god, these ads. Okay, I will bring ad block next time, because the ads are like, especially the ads on. I'll be honest with you, Gematsu, even on mobile, I can't look at Gematsu on mobile without ad block. So I have a browser called Kiwi on that I use on mobile, that you can put extensions and stuff on, and I use that browser a lot of the time. But yeah, if I'm looking at Gematsu, I have to open it up in that, because the ads on Gematsu, the way it shows up on mobile is that it takes up half the screen. Like there will be a video playing that you can't dismiss or anything. If you try and dismiss it, it comes back, and it's so distracting. Like I can imagine people that have like like attention deficit or different issues like that it would be really even way more difficult than it is even for me. Imagine if you had kind of a different thing like that, it would be really, really distracting for me. I really don't like it. So yeah, this is the only game not the only game they've made, it's the only game that's listed here. I'm sure they've made other stuff as well. Should we take a look at the Gematsu comments? That's fun. The Gematsu comments section, oh my god. Yeah. Oh god, get out these ads. Femboy Friday. Let's take a look. Let's see what they say. Not feeling this one. I'm just waiting for Project Refantasy. I'll tell you, you'll be waiting a while for that. That's for damn sure. And only after this one, I will hype Persona 6. Yeah, because it's not a completely new game. It looks like Persona 5. See what I mean about these ads? It's gone over the top of this, what I'm reading. With the dev team, it takes... What? With their time, it takes that team to fully cook a project. I'm not realistically expecting new Persona to release for another 10 years. Oof, that wouldn't be good. Oh look, so this person's made the same mistake that I made. Look. Oh great, the main character is yet another tomboyish looking anime character voiced by a woman, but is still a guy for some reason type. Give us P3 Fairs remake with P3 Peaches already fatless. What the hell? Okay, so this person's annoyed that they're annoyed about this the character being gender ambiguous, but then also voiced by a woman. How do we know that? I don't know. Is that character voiced by a woman? Did we hear the voice of the character in? We didn't hear the voice of the character, did we? In that trailer? That doesn't necessarily mean that's a voiced by a woman. So that's not. You can have a higher voice and not be a woman. When we're just talking about Casey Monglio. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce their name. I apologise. This will also release on PC, so chill. In China, mate. In China. And when people say no, it's going to be on PC, it's fine. It's going to release in China, in Chinese. Can you read Chinese scripts? You know, can you read Mandarin or simplified Chinese or other traditional Chinese? Can you read those? Because this is what it's going to be in. The playtest will be on PC in Chinese, by the way. This is Gematsu comments are always like, oh god, they'd be wilding. I can't see my live chat. Yo, Pop Tarts are goated. Is that what the ad was? Was it Pop Tarts? Pop Tarts. Dank Me says, yeah, it doesn't mess with the attention. Does it do that thing where your eyes are like, it's like your eyes are kind of dragged down and you can't look at what the text properly? That's what it does to me. It really messes me up. I start feeling like almost like dizzy. Like I can't abide Gematsu. It's not on like the PC browser. It's not as bad. On mobile, it is awful. I can't look at anytime I accidentally open up Gematsu in Chrome because of my mobiles. Like defaulted, it can open up stuff within like the little Chrome thing that's within Twitter, the Twitter app. Oh my gosh, I need to open it up in Kiwi browser. This is terrible. Dankmink Center, is that a problem I have? What's wrong with women voicing more gender ambiguity roles? Exactly. I don't understand the problem. I knew that there was going to be some problem that people that had an issue with it. Oh my god. Do you remember? First of all, we were talking about Nahabino. Do you remember the people went wild over that character? And then a character who actually is trans. The character, the Bridget from Guilty Gear or whatever. Was it Guilty Gear? Or whatever game that is. People went wild. Oh my god! Good lord! I like it's not even a big deal. Back in the day, we had gender ambiguous characters all the time, and different genders, and there wasn't all this like crazy. They were just there. People didn't say anything about it. Not like now. I thought, what happened? I don't understand what happened. We had to have whole ass films based on people being different genders and cross-dressing and stuff. Everyone forgot about Mrs. Doubtfire. The whole film was about that. I don't understand what's going on. Whole ass TV programs and stuff. I don't like what happened. Anyway, that's a whole. I'm not getting into that now. There's a whole thing. Okay, so this was said. John. Oh my god, these ads are really bad. I don't know. John Hunt, this person here says, this doesn't look like complete minimum effort stuff at first glance, which is what I said. But yeah, I think at this point people are just completely turned off by anything mobile, or sometimes really just anything, so you're never going to win this way of American fans. I don't think they care because it's not made for American fans. Certified bra moment. This could be an actual P5 spin-off that gladly play full price on proper release, but no way, that was for a S-word gacha mobile game release only. What a waste. Does the comfort curse of Persona 5 mobile games apply when it's not crossover? Now, someone else said that, Kika actually said it, that there's a... Was it Kika that said it? But this Persona 5 mobile game curse, like, anytime there's a crossover with a game, with another mobile game, they don't do that well. Or they shut down. This person says, yeah, I don't know if you can all see this, it's probably too small, right? Oh no, not that one. Let me just full screen it. Can I get escape? Escape? What? I want to escape. No, this is what I meant to hit. Oh no, it's too big. Where's it gone? The comment's gone. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take this as that. It's selling rights for a mobile game to Chinese and ignore this because... Oh, it was you, Kika! Oh, Kika, I thought it was you. Yeah, Kika said they did say that about the curse, yeah. Shame because an Atlas mobile game could be pretty decent because of all the property... Dude, they already have... This person may be not aware that Atlas has made a ton of mobile games. Like loads of them. And they have... The one they have now is the SMT DX2, whatever it's called. We could see characters around for 20 plus years, but yeah, this seems like a cash grab and actual effort. I don't know why this couldn't have been a console telltale. It looks like a full-priced RPG, so not a gacha project. They've only showed us like a few little cutscenes though. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it looks exactly like Persona 5. I don't know how much money they've really spent on it. So if it shows up in English, I'll see if my phone can run it. Because mobile is king in China, the only place so it's currently confirmed to release in games like Genshin Impact and Tower Fantasy show that you can have a console-like experiences. They do incredibly well on mobile. I'm not a fan of the character designs, neither for the male MC nor for the female character, otherwise it looks good. Even might try it if it gets English release. I just hope this won't have an impact on Persona. Dude, it's not made... impact on Persona 6 development. Well, considering that Atlas haven't made it, I don't see what impact it can possibly have. It's not even the same team. Yeah, someone said that. It's basically like licensing. MC has cute design as well. See, it's just... Oh no, what the hell? Okay, this person says... This person has a... Look, this is very funny because they have a... That character I was just talking about, Bridget, from Guilty Gear, they have it as their avatar. MC has a cute design, but just as I said 2 years ago, not touching it unless there's a female main character. The hair clip girl is pretty and the velvet attendant is whack. She doesn't have yellow eyes. Okay, so I saw LaRue who is an Atlas content creator and just knows everything about Mega 10 ever, was kind of not impressed that they didn't that the new attendant didn't have the yellow eyes, because they always have yellow eyes for whatever reason. Didn't have yellow eyes, so yeah, so not impressed. And they would normally have like names from Frankenstein, the novel Frankenstein. What is going on here? Is this dude in this picture has like a 6-pack and is holding up a 3DS. So you see, maybe you can't see this because it's too small. This dude in this thing has is topless and is holding up what looks like a 3DS. What the hell? Can you see this picture? What's happening here? Look at this. I don't know if that might not be them. They might have just stolen that from somewhere. Anyway, they said, oh my god, there's so many ads, I can't read what's on the screen. Get rid of this nonsense. I don't like the main character design. Al looks okay, but just kind of looks like an orc costume for Mona. No, it doesn't. Indifferent with the girl's design, but her shark persona looks cool. Okay, I'm not going to read that comment. This person says, this makes no sense. Just more like a rip-off than a spin-off sequel. Just work on Persona 6. Damn Jesus. We're tired of this... We're tired of this wild milking. I hope there's some people still here that are joining me for these Gamatsu comments. These Gamatsu comments are always... They're always wilding in Gamatsu comments. I know like it's difficult to read them because of the stupid ads. They're always wilding in Gamatsu comments. I had to filter the screen to make it easier on my eyes. It's really difficult to read this site. Haha, so true. People too woke of late. Anything will grind their gears. Would require their... What? And would require their cancel replies. Would require their cancelled replies. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, I really can't stand that term woke, by the way. It's just... I think it's dumb, but anyway, it's just me. Yeah, people saying... They're really wild in these comments. Are you incapable of reading comprehension or just brain damage? It literally says within the first paragraph that P Studio is not involved in this. Whatever this P5X is, it doesn't affect P6. And then someone replied, this is the same person replied back. 1. Didn't your parents educate you, kid? Learn some manner and speak properly to a stranger. 2. Even if mainly developed by another studio, I doubt Atlas knows nothing about... What the hell? I doubt Atlas knows nothing about this. They must have at least worked on concept design. It clearly shows P Studio style, etc. Well, they did. They was involved in the character design, but it wasn't made by them. 3. Even if developed by another studio, these releases are what allow P6 to be developed super slowly? If they got nothing to monetize on... Oh my god. I literally can't read your website because of the ads. I can't read it. I can't read. Oh my god, I'm going to have to get the... Even if develop another studio. These releases are what allow P6 to be developed super slowly. If they got nothing to monetize on, they clearly focus more on steady releases instead of waiting 10 years between every release. Or do you actually believe Persona Mix takes a full 10 years to be developed? Oh my god. This episode is brought to you by BBC Radio. What do you mean the stupid thing that keeps coming up? I know, it's annoying, Kiko. So this is what I mean about the people wild in the comments. It wasn't made by Atlas. They was involved in the sense that they was a team. They supervised and was involved in the character design. So yeah, the reason why Persona 5 took so long to develop was because of the very slow transition that Atlas had to HD development. Extremely slow. Even slower than Nintendo. Nintendo were like the slowest, but Atlas was slower. If you think about like when their first native PS4 game was Soul Hackers 2. Wasn't that their first? Because Persona 5 is not a native PS4 game. It was made for PS3 and ported to PS4. So their very first native PS4 game was Soul Hackers 2, which released last year. So there you go. Well, they developed SMT5 for Yes Fair and Game Feels Rush. Even if you compare with SMT1 and 2, which was developed for 2 years. Okay. SMT1 and 2 were on the bloody Famicom. Of course they only developed. Of course they was only developed in 2 years. What the hell? Can you really compare development now with developing for the Famicom? Is that what we're doing here? Because that's a dumb thing to say. It was developed in 2 years. We're just do it now. It wasn't developed as fast as SMT1 on the Famicom. Oh my god. That means they got development problems or lack of skill. Not these games actually require that long. No. Like I said before, look at what these Persona games and these Atlas games look like. They're not making God of War Ragnarok, okay? So this is just Atlas. They're talking about the SMT5. I guess it takes time to squeeze a bit more money out of P5. A bit more after multiple releases of the original game and several spin-offs. Nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed them and they were good, says this person with a Joker avatar. Nothing wrong with that. Speak for yourself, please. All the time and effort spent on making them, they could have been used to polish and add in content. Even speed up the release date on Persona 6. It's been 7 years since P5. You could be playing P6 right now. If you didn't spend all the time remastering crappy port like the recent P3 remasters. Oh my god, these comments are amazing. I told you they were good. Oh man. Kika's got this image of all the Persona 5 games that there was a Sword Art Online of like oh yeah I forgot about the Dragalia Lost one, man. The Dragalia Lost one. Yeah. There was a Dragalia Lost game, they had a crossover with it, and that one closed as well. After one year. Right, those were crossovers though, so maybe it doesn't apply if it's like an original game. If it's like, you know, maybe the curse doesn't apply if it's an original game, like a brand new game. Like a standard, what I mean is standalone. I should say standalone. Get out of here, ads. Oh my god, Project Re Fantasy. I don't know what's happened to Project Re, but you can see they're absolutely wilding in these comments. They are wilding. I urge you, when it gets released, please don't do any purchases in that game. Please don't feed the monster. Well, you won't be able to because it's in China only and in Chinese. But I keep saying this. It'll be in China, in Chinese. So, yeah. At this point, damn karting game would be more appealing. So sad, Atlas. This one person says, but it looks really good most for mobile. Most of the time, these mobile versions hardly play similar to their console counterpart. This one says they probably show an upscaled version. They do the same for these mobile games in Japan. Even for Nintendo, most of the times their games run at 500p, but the trailers show 1080p. That's actually not true. When they, because they analyze these videos and stuff. When they do the trailers, they run at the whatever religion. When Nintendo does trailers, they run at like the resolution that they run on in the game. Because Digital Foundry and things, they always point out that they've been down, like they're higher res models that have been downscaled. So I've seen them point that out before. Ninty would never lie to me. No, this person's just making crap up. They literally do the opposite of what this person's saying here. They're like, the models are much higher res, and then they like make them lower res and that's what they show in the trailers. They only show stuff that can actually run on Switch. Nintendo themselves, other third party companies, that's different, but they're doing whatever. But Nintendo doesn't do that. Honestly, I've literally seen videos say that. Oh my god. Look, the Sal Romano, who runs this site, had to reply to this one because it's so dumb. And now we know where the budget for SMT5 and SH2 went. And this person says, so Sol Romano, who runs the website, says, it helps to read the first sentence. This is published and developed by Perfect World Games. If anything, they're giving Atlas money to license the IP out to them. Yeah, they pay for the license. I've said that before. Yeah, the reason why Atlas disabled Reimagine. Well, their own thing they shut down ages ago, but the Reimagine, the fan server that was running, that ended up having to be shut down. Yeah, that's too bad because I wanted to play it, but another game gone forever. So it's annoying. They've got a lot of games that are gone forever. Okay, but people are writing comments about this Velvet Room attendant that I'm not going to read. You can use your imagination as to what they're writing about that Velvet Room attendant. Like, okay. Yeah. I think the thing that people have really haven't seemed to have grasped in this comment section is that this game has been made for the Chinese market. It's been made for the Chinese market, not for... Probably a lot of the people in these comments are in the States. It's been made for the Chinese market. So that's why it's like this. We'll have to wait and see, because it's a end of the day, it's a turn-based single player, that's they're monetizing with. It's probably not even going to be all that. It's not made by Atlas, It's just because they're just using all their assets and music, and they got them supervised. They supervised it to make new characters, but not to the point where they would keep this thing of having attendants having yellow eyes for whatever reasons. I don't care about that. I guess they could change the eyes, but I doubt it. I love that game. Mousy, what game are you referring to? What, Persona 5 Scramble? What Kike said? Anyway, I've gone on longer than I said I was going to, because they were wilding those Gamatsu comments, and we just had to check it out. They were wilding. Oh, Geronimo, I didn't see you here before. Welcome. Well, I'm ending now. So this is the Gamatsu comment section experience, exactly. Have you? Oh my god, the Gamatsu comment section. The best part would be it probably still is now. Would be when they put the weekly Famitsu up, Famitsu sales up. Because at one point it used to be kind of console war, a little bit console warish, but then it's kind of stopped being like that once just Nintendo just apparently took over Japan. It kind of, sorry if I thumped the desk there. You just got here Geronimo, we're finishing. We're finishing. You can rewind the VOD. You can rewind the VOD. It's yeah, it's all been recorded. Oh, Geronimo. So I know your name's Geronimo. And I said Geronimo because it sounds like that. Sorry. Did you see I've changed the name? I changed the name of the show. We're called the Game Cornershop now. There is a reason why the name. You can see on my Twitter. I changed the name. Yeah, why I changed the name on my Twitter account, and the reasoning behind the name. And what we're gonna do is, just a little bit of housekeeping to finish up. Yeah, so the name. Oh, you did. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Geronimo. Yeah, Geronimo, that was you that replied. Yeah, of course. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Do you have a different name? Is your name slightly different on Twitter? I don't know. Yeah. Hi, Geronimo. Sorry, I actually did see your comment. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that comment. Yeah. So we changed the name. And the show's largely going to be the same, as in, like, we're going to talk about the weekly Famitsu sales, and we're going to talk about, the news and stuff, and it's still going to have this discussion as calling aspect via Discord. We're keeping that. Genki's not completely gone. I don't know if I mentioned before, he's not like 100% completely gone, like he's never coming back or whatever. He may occasionally go back if and when he has time, but he has a busy life, so he's not able to do it every week like we used to. But I really enjoyed doing the show so much with Genki. We don't forget we did it before we did it for like 6 months non-stop on Twitter Space. All those episodes are gone, unfortunately, but we did it for 6 months non-stop on Twitter Spaces with like pretty much almost no gaps for like 6 months plus, until we got to so we started in June, and then it went to, and it wasn't even meant to be a show. We just ended up doing it every week. It wasn't even meant to start like that. It was meant to be like a one-off thing, and then we just started doing it. And then until like Christmas time, we had a break, and we came back and was on YouTube. We did it for a couple of months, and then we decided to make some changes. But I'm really happy with the changes that I've made with the name. I'm kind of proud of myself for coming up with that name. I know, Mousy, I know you helped. Mousy, don't start. I know you helped. So going forward, I'm going to be making some improvements in the show. Like, we're going to have a new layout and banners. We still obviously have the old Jodie and Genki banner, which I want to make a new one, but I want to make one properly. It's why I didn't want to rush changing everything. And I'm going to get a new stream package. So the thing I have here is like one that was available for free. That's because I wasn't certain how to use this new software, Streamlabs, and how it all worked and what to do and everything. And I didn't want to pay for something and then find out that I couldn't use it or it wasn't suitable or whatever. So I got this free one. So I might pay for a stream package, something nice and suitably themed, or maybe I'll just make up my own thing with, put something together. I definitely want to try and theme it like an actual corner shop though, and I'm thinking about making some original artwork for that. And so I'm gonna come up with a new banner, new stream layout, new that little icon, what do you call it, like a profile pic for the channels. I don't have it. I'm just using the Famicom Fungi comic book cover that I found because I thought it looked kind of cool. So I could come up with that, and then there's like other improvements I want to make. For example, I'm going to start adding. I know I haven't done it so far because I didn't know how to do it. Right, how to add what do you call it? Bookmarks? Is it bookmarks? What do you call it? Bookmarks to the timestamps. That's what I mean. Timestamps. How to add timestamps to the video. I want to add timestamps to the videos. I want to be able to make thumbnails because I don't really know how to make thumbnails and stuff, and I don't have Photoshop. I used Photoshop a tiny bit in college, but that was like 20 years ago. I can't remember how to, and it was Photoshop isn't like that anymore, so I don't know how to use Photoshop now to make thumbnails and stuff. So I'd like to make thumbnails, And if anyone else has any suggestions, comments, suggestions, or anything, how they'd like me to improve the show and stuff you'd like me to do, including things like that. I know the timing has been an issue because before it would be much earlier in the day to sort of accommodate what time Genki could do. But because Genki's not going to be on the show regularly anymore, we're going to be a little bit more flexible with the time. But if Genki does join, like, we'll plan it in advance around his time zone. So obviously that would be much earlier in the day, but that would be planned out in advance if Genki was able to join or not. But because it's now, I can be a little bit more flexible with the time. So I can do a bit later. So I know there's a good few people who listen who are in the States. So if you have any comments or suggestions, please, I'm going to copy, I'm going to get the link for the what do we call it, the Discord. So please join the Discord if you're not already joined. And the Discord, you can DM me as well, of course, like friend me on Discord and DM me. So we have the public rooms in Discord, the notice board, which is just like where you can post whatever. I also need to improve the Discord. I don't know, because I don't know how to use everything in Discord, and I've never had a server before, and that's why the server is just called Jodie's JP Sales Chat. I have no imagination for thinking of names, you probably can tell. So that's why it's called that. So yeah, I want to make him. I will make improvements to the Discord, and get some. If I'd like to do things like I'd like proper bots and everything. There is one bot, the poker catcher, which you can use on anything, but the people were saying it was getting a bit clogged up in the notice board one. So there's a poker catcher section if you want to play the Pokemon catching game. And then there's the live. I did set up this live chat channel so you can chat in there when the show's actually going on. But then there's also the notice board, which is the main chat thing. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please hit me up. I'm really new to this. I didn't even mean to make a YouTube channel. All this happened by accident. It just wasn't. If Elon Musk hadn't jacked up Twitter, I probably still would have the Twitter show. Yeah. Geronimo says, I'll try and be more active here and on Discord. I usually lurk places, but I have enjoyed the previous Twitter spaces in 2022 I was able to listen to. Was you in on those shows, Geronimo? You remember the 2022 Twitter spaces? You remember? Oh, cool, nice. Nice to have you here. So, do you remember that we actually started back in June of 2022? That's when we started. It was around June time. It's so annoying and unfortunate that all those shows are gone. Like must have been like 30 spaces we had, or something like that. They're all gone now, except for the very first 3. Helio did manage to like record for me, so I have the very first 3 of them. All the rest of them are gone, and I don't think there's any way to get them back. Which unfortunate, but they're kind of time sensitive anyway, so I don't know if they're that useful to go back and listen to them, just because it's very like of the moment stuff we're talking about. So yeah, great show, Jodie. Thank you, J2 Blue. Thank you. So, oh yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. I forgot to say that. Hit the like button. I'm not used to being a I'm not really a YouTuber, as you can guess. So I accidentally ended up with this YouTube channel that I didn't mean to. I didn't start off. It wasn't an intention, but I ended up investing in a new mic. I've got a Blue Yeti here, and now what I've decided to do, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but over where my computer desk is, it's by, like, if you can imagine I'm in my living room, and like directly in front of me is just like a wall. The whole wall is just glass because it's like sliding doors that go out onto my balcony. It's always freezing over on this side of the room because the radiator's on the other side of the room, but I can't move the computer desk over there. Right, so what I've done, I've bought my little oil heater over by the where I am now. So I'm not usually, I end up getting really, really, really freezing cold over here, but I've got my little heater now, so I don't have a problem. Thank me, Centre. I'm in that library of humble beginnings. Sure, the discussion is dated, but that can shed a light on how you're approaching the market. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. It's annoying that I can't get it back. Someone suggested to me that if I downloaded my you can download your data or something from Twitter, they can give you a data package that maybe it would be in there, but I doubt it. I think it's just deleted off the servers, and I really it's really annoying because I just didn't. It was so complicated to try and download. I just didn't know how to do it. So yeah, the Twitter archive thing. Yeah, someone said to me that it might be in there, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's in there. It's really annoying. Like, why not have the spaces? Because they try and make it out like you can run a podcast on Twitter Spaces, but there's no. Why would you run a podcast on somewhere where there's no? Not only is there no way to archive it, you can't. They don't even have a system where you can just click download and download it for to archive it for your own purposes. They could do that. So either you have to record it at the same time, or you've got to find a way to download it, which is really difficult. It's really difficult. So yeah. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up now. Thank you for everyone for coming through. Geronimo, Dank Moon Center, J2 Blue, Keycare, Mousy, Vinnie Mac, who chatted with in the call. Thank you. Dank Moon Center. Who else was here? Katsunova. I can't see the rest of the chat. There was other people here, but I've forgotten who it was. I'm sorry. The chat only goes back so far. That's really annoying. Mousy. And some other people were here, but I can't remember. Thanks, everyone. I forgot to put the Wii shop. Oh, I forgot. Next time we'll have the eShop music because the eShop will be closing soon. Okay, bye, everyone.